just worked a minute ago. Well, we're live apparently, but not having some technical difficulties as usual. Thank you very much. What the fuck is this thing's problem? It worked earlier. Okay, fuck you, Twitter. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to, I had it all set up and then one button clicked away and fucking, jeez. I tell you.
It only takes one button to end the world.
Yeah, right? Who care? Son of a bitch. I need Messenger. Yeah. There's what I'm looking for. Do it off the fucking Facebook, but there we go. Except I forgot to share it. So now I get to go back and do that. So I wish I could have unhit the fucking start button because this has just been shit. All right, present. There's that. There's this. All right, we're rewinding back. Jump around, because the Wiener say it's time to get up and get down. So yeah, it is just my system is not working for shit today. Wow, that was horrible. It did not want to stop.
Doesn't want to play.
No, it doesn't. It's just being a complete cub today.
Is it Chinese by any chance?
No, it's definitely Pakistani though. Palestinian, if you will. Yeah, no, it's just I don't know what the hell it is. It's between the internet and the system itself is constantly I'll have two fucking bars open. It's sitting there thinking constantly when there's nothing to think about. I'm like,
yeah, but this time of the year, everyone's doing their Christmas shopping online, so the internet's being butchered.
But it's my computer. It's fucking up more than that. That's what's driving me nuts. I'm like, there's no logic here. All right, so share full screen because you're a piece of shit. Let's check the volume. I saw this. I thought this was hilarious. I think you'll get a kick out of this. Even without DL being here, I think he'll laugh his ass off.
My man has been liking this bitch's pictures, and she's not even all that hot. I don't know what the hell she's thinking or what he's thinking.
I can't help if guys are liking my photos. I mean, look at me. It's just Instagram anyways.
Ladies, you know the rules. There are no rules.
What the hell do you think we're doing? Trying to talk to my man. You are no part of this. No, I am not doing it. Hi, babe.
Oh dear.
So you're going out with Tiffany. That's pretty interesting.
Why is that interesting?
Nothing. It's all good.
You will tell me why that is interesting.
I will tell you why that is interesting.
Hey, are you having a fun time?
No.
Hey.
Hey, stranger. Where have you been?
I've been around.
I bet you have.
Oh, hey, this is my date.
Hey, come here for a sec. I want to talk to you about something pretty funny.
Oh, Johnny, he's so funny.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had some wild times. Oh, not like that. We're just friends.
Why haven't I heard from you? After all we've been through, I have to catch you red-handed with some other woman? I thought we had something. Something special. Is it because of my third nipple? I mean, if it is, we can make it work. I promise.
I love the heavy breathing.
Okay,
Yeah.
now who's that stinky bitch?
I do not know that woman.
Are you sure? Because it kind of seems like she's your girlfriend or something.
I do not know that woman.
Oh, God. It's my ex. He's such a douchebag.
What's up, babe?
I'm not your babe anymore. It's been 2 years.
This the new guy? What's up, new guy? How's my fucking dick taste, bitch? What, you want some of this, man? You want some of this?
I find your lack of respect disturbing.
What's disturbing is you're trying to take my girl, bitch. That's what's disturbing. So guess what, man? Now we're gonna fuck you up, man. That's what's gonna happen right now.
Oh dear.
Don't fuck with the Jedi Master, son.
Well, you knew life was so hard for them for dating and things like that. You got to appreciate it now, and they go on holiday and beach parties and all that. Cool.
Oh yeah, had me dying though. I had a couple of them saved that I had, and I'd realized something I didn't really realize before. Like I never really thought I liked rap, and I don't for the most part. But I'd found some remixes that I really dig and like, and hence that was one of them that I was playing with the dogs jumping around because it's like 3 different bands all playing and stuff. And a remix, and it just worked out good with Duncan running around like a nut playing with his mom. Because when he was doing that and he stopped at the corner, he looked down, Frank was looking up. And notice he's like, I ain't messing with Frank. Duncan's going to be about the size of Frank, but even he knows. He's like, nope, don't mess with the big white dog. That's a no-no.
Absolutely. No one.
So you're alive, right? So Russia hasn't like blasted you off the planet yet?
I don't think they can find us on the map. The map's a bit outdated. So
yeah. I kind of am oblivious to why Russia hates you right now. I mean, did I miss something, or are they just being their normal commie cunt selves?
No, we're shipping a lot of weapons to them, which we probably got from you guys anyway. So, and advisors probably. So, yeah, we're not very popular with Russia, but then again, we weren't one of the guys that was, bending over to kiss their ass. So,
yeah. Well, being a child of the 70s, I came up with this scenario a long time ago. And it was, what are we going to do if everybody that we've done beat up and fucked with join together? And it kind of seems that's what we've got going on here. Russia, China, the Middle East. I'm just saying, this is something I brought up in the 80s. Okay. And I might have been off by a couple decades, but in 2022, man, it seems a little bit more severe than what it was in 1980s.
Yeah, but the thing is that all these countries have ostracized each other for decades. They've had spits and spats where they've been okay and supplied some arms, and and then they've fallen out with each other because they wanted to get more popular with the rest of the world. Now they're all bosom buddies again. It's just like schoolyard antics, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man. And it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, You know, I'm a little pissed about, you know, and this is going to be a ADD, ADHD, fucking bipolar stream. I'm sorry, people. That's just kind of where it's going to go. There's really no set topic because we don't have Andor right now. But Disney pissed me off. They're raising the price in January to $10.99. Now, look, there's a lot going on here, and we're not going to cover all of it. But to me, you're going to raise the price, but you're not giving me anything new, right? Like, all the new products are still in the theaters, and I have to pay to watch it on Disney Plus. Why are you raising the price? I'm not getting anything more for the money that I'm already giving you. And right now, they're not the greatest company to be supporting because they're full fucking communists. So if you hate communism, I'm sorry, then you need to not support Disney. And unfortunately, as we have discussed, you know, everybody watch what you will like, you know, do what you want to do. But we're going to get to the point where we need to vanquish communism out of the United States because it's running rampant. And those are the ways you're going to have to do it. And it doesn't matter if you get butt hurt. If you pay for Disney Plus, if you go to the parks, if you support Disney, you're supporting communism. I'm sorry, because that's the shit they're putting on TV, because that's the directive that they're pushing. Disney's pushing it, and all the cable companies are pushing it. Look at the shit that we have on TV. I dare say, Brent, we lived in the best decade ever because we got to witness music that doesn't belong together that meshes well. We had so diverse music that diversity didn't know what to fucking do. We had rock, classic rock, glam rock, metal rock, death rock, you know, and it went with rap and country. And then you had the 70s music, and people say disco sucks. But to me, techno is basically a version of disco. I know it's not the same, but, you know, it's about the beat, you know. Disco was about the beat, you know.
Well, a lot of tracks, the newer tracks, are mixed from the older ones anyway. So, you know, they can't say that stuff.
You know me, I work out, and I just put on random shit when I work out, and then I'll find the music that just is fitting to the workout. And I didn't know what I was gonna do. I actually, on a member stream Wednesday, I discussed this with Etep, and I sent it to him, and then I sent it to Draven and Tony. But I was like, okay, I was having a really good day and had some edibles and had a good smoke and was sitting there lifting. And I knew I wanted to rip a song, but I didn't know what I was going to do. But I was going to poke fun at Etep. I'm like, all right, Etep Wokuian from the Place to Be reviews. Because it's just, you know, it's just a little ribbing, loving, you know, not negative at all. This is all positive. So I didn't know exactly what I was going to do, but I was in a very creative mood, if you will. And I'm listening to a mixture of music, which is AC/DC with Queen playing We Will Rock You for the lyrics with AC/DC music, okay? And then I changed the lyrics, but I didn't know where or when I was going to do it. And then I'm in the middle of curling, mind you. I've got 35 pounds on the bar as I'm lifting and doing this. And I finally had a moment of what I call genius, because I you know the lyrics. We will rock you. Doesn't matter the beat, right? Let's look at the lyrics. We will rock you. That's not what I was gonna go fuck with Etep on. There was a part about a Jew I could mix in there and just, you know, give him a good little brown rubbing just to mess with him. And that's not what I did. I switched the end of We Will Rock You to We Will Wokuian You. But then I had to sing it with the song, right? Because you can't just replace the words. So you've got to go with the beat. Wasn't a normal beat, though. And I did pull it off pretty well. At least I thought I did. And I sent it to him, and I sent it to some of the other guys. And then, of course, there was the Duncan movie that we opened with once I got that working proper, which just happened in between. Just sitting here goofing off, you know, pre-stream. And I was like, oh, they were sitting there playing pretty hard. And I already had the music playing anyway, so let me record it. And yeah, I got that little bit of wonderfulness. Cool. No problem. But yeah, I don't know, man. I've been having a lot of fun with some of these remixes, and I hadn't done that in a while. You know, I just pretty much would listen to what was playing on Ozzy's Boneyard or whatever on Sirius XM. Never really paid too much attention to anything else. But this song that they did, I don't know, it made me laugh. And I keep seeing, like, from time to time, these funny Vader ones kept popping up. Hence the one on him on a date, and I was just like, that's kind of fitting because, we were talking Andor and classic Star Wars and whatnot. So I was like, this would be kind of fun. And you see the stuff that the guys that volunteer for the 51st that go and do all that charitable work and stuff.
Yeah, the 501st.
501st. Yeah.
They just pissed.
So you see those guys go out there and do what they do, right? Like, that's the part of the world that we need more of. Not this me bullshit, or they're literally throwing shit in front of your face, and you guys are still supporting them for no reason. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, we discussed this a few weeks ago, and it's never going to be that you're going to get a blanket ban from people. The normal people, the people who have no idea what's going on with the world and things like that. It's never going to happen. There are always going to be people filling their coffers. And my assessment was that, well, why should I deny myself what I like about Star Wars just because, yes, they are doing wrong things, but you're never going to get everyone in the world to turn around and just say, no, I'm not going to watch Disney anymore. I'm just getting rid of all my Disney stuff. I'm going to throw it away. I'm not going to the theme pops or anything like that for a holiday. It's never going to happen. They would literally have to start stringing kids outside the gates, hanging them for people to do anything like that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Everyone is like trying to quieten all this Hunter Biden and all that sort of stuff on all the other networks. So the tactic now is when something does come, they just brush it under the carpet. Years ago, decades ago, like you were saying, this sort of stuff would have been headline news on all the papers, on the radio, on the TV. They'd be talking about it for bloody weeks. People would get book deals out of it. But now, no one cares. No one gives a shit anymore.
Well, see, I think a lot of it too, we've just been beaten the fuck down to the point of, what they want to call submission, but mainly we've just been waiting. A lot of us have just been waiting. And I mean, I've been sharing a lot of stuff that's pointing out, but I mean, like they're even talking about how it's funny. Like, I don't have cable, so I didn't realize this, but like they're attacking Elon with Twitter and shit, and they basically, they're making him out to be the bad guy when the actual bad guys, which are the president and his son and all the crooked deals and shit they've done and stealing an election, which we know was stolen. And, they're even saying, hey, the Republican Party can't do any worse than the Democrat Party's been doing lately. Yeah, no shit. Under Trump, we weren't dealing with this kind of crap. Like, and I'm sorry, I think that Y2K 22 years ago was the precursor of COVID-19, in the aspect of, hey, we're going to tell them that this is going to happen, even though none of it's going to happen. And look at how many people fell hook, line, and sinker for it, for the Y2K.
But you look at the world and it's like people are told these things and they don't care. No one cares anymore. Yes, they probably have been beat down for a long time, or it's as I said before as well, they just don't want to lose what they've got until they've lost it all, and by which time obviously it would be too late. It's just I mean, their tactics as well is if something's done, they blame the other side for it. Or they say, oh, they're going to do the same thing. It's just tit for tat. It just doesn't stop. It's always the same.
Oh, yeah.
Never ends. And that's what wears people down, because it's just, getting called a racist or a fucking misogynist or this and that. And people are sick of it. It's like all these people, these vegan people at the moment, they're going in and, interrupting people when they're having food and stuff like that. This would never have happened like 20 years ago. These people were just being chucked out of the restaurant straight away. Huge apologies for the people that they would have messed with, and the police would have been called. I saw a video the other day, California, all these people just going into the shops, bin bags and other bags, taking stuff off the shelves like perfumes, all the expensive stuff, electrics, all that, all the beepers going, and they just walk out the stores. No one stops them. They film them, but they don't stop them. One police officer tried to chase after someone who was a really big lady. She's not athletic at all. She still got away.
Oh, yeah.
It's just fucking beyond belief.
But the problem I have is, okay, California, all these Democrat commie-ran cities is where this shit's happening, and the reason it's happening is they allow. Oh, it's a it's a safe city. Wait a minute,
Yeah,
what?
but then you look at a guy who was killed trying to stop them. Nothing's been done about it. This guy tried to stop them leaving the shops. They pushed him over. I think he hit his head or something on some heart, and he died. They're doing fuck all about that. Why? Why is life so fucking cheap nowadays? And why don't they care unless you have the right pronouns or color or anything like that? It's
exactly.
It's them and us. It is so blatantly them and us. But in your country, in every country, there's now a divide. There's two groups. It's not, oh, we can agree to disagree, we can debate or anything like that. It's literally, you're the enemy, I'm your enemy, and then there's someone up top who's making a lot of money out of it.
Oh yeah,
and that's all that's literally going on.
Well, it's like I've got all these here, and there's quite a few good ones. But yeah, I mean, it's literally right here.
But it's like, why do we elect all
millions of dollars to delete and block people in 2020? And we know this. Like we talked about it, and then we all got canceled. And it's, by the way, did you know the other day it was Large Marge's birthday? Rest in peace, Large Marge.
No, I didn't.
From the Pee Wee Herman movie.
Yeah.
So that was, but like this one here, this is where it gets to the point of with the insanity of today. This bit here with Mr. Rogers. There we go.
Right from the start, everybody's fancy, everybody's fine, your body's fancy, and so is mine. Because sometimes children think that they might change. They might have to change after a while. And, we laugh about that now. But it's because we had that concern when we were little.
Yeah, because you're really not sure. You thought maybe you'd become a girl or the girl would become a boy, right?
Exactly.
And it happens frequently out here.
Yeah, I mean, like right there.
Boys are boys.
Boys are boys, girls are girls. I mean, but in 2022, he'd have been canceled. And of course, this fucking thing jumped all the way back up here.
People are getting cancelled for ridiculous reasons, and no one is fighting for anything that's important. They're just jumping on a bandwagon where they don't know what the issues, anything is. All these people that turn around and say climate crisis, all this sort of stuff, don't give any realistic alternatives, and they can't do the plans that they want to implement. And they just all jump on the same bandwagon and then start protesting things like disrupting everything. It's like, why? You're just winding everyone up. You haven't got a clue why you're fucking protesting. You just want to jump on a bandwagon and have your 5 minutes of fame. But
well, here's the scary part in America. This is how I knew we were doing this bit right.
I think that everyone is going to have to take a hard look at where they want to be at this moment in history, as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights. Go ahead.
Looking into ways to stop people from having their fundamental fucking rights, and you assholes put those people in, and they're still in.
The only difference between the way the world's going now and other countries that have dictatorships is that instead of us making the iPhones, we're buying them. And that's about it at the moment, isn't it?
It really is, man. And I mean, it's one of those, like, I don't Facebook much. I know you don't at all.
No.
But there are people out there saying the same thing we are. It's not just that we're an echo chamber on YouTube. There are a lot of us out there doing their parts. And you're going to see on here, there's lots of different aged people that are doing the stuff that you and I are doing as well.
Oh, yeah. But I can't understand why people aren't acting. Stop fucking filming these things and act. These people, like that thing in California the other day, all these people are in the shop. They're walking out of the shop, not running, anything like that. So what you do is you go up to them and you slap all that stuff out of their hands and push them out the door.
I actually have a bit. It's up a little bit further, but I wanted to show this real quick. This is that premiere that DL's been talking about. We all watch. This isn't a rib on you. It's the only information that's out there that from science that they found. They have just completely fucking blocked it on YouTube. Now I have it on Twitter, no problem. See, but it's not false information. That's the worst part. It's not false information. They're giving you facts of things they found in people that have died after the vaccine that wasn't there prior to the vaccine. I'm sorry. That's called a fucking fact. If you don't want to listen and believe, that's on you. But don't block people from trying to share shit. You know, this is how I feel about the media not letting us have freedom of speech.
Swim, Jerry.
Kill her,
Jerry. Kill her. Kill her now. Murder! Oh, yeah, good boy. Good boy. Jerry, yes. And the water balloon. Jerry.
Yes, it is crazy, you know, and that there isn't more people just calling this shit out and saying, look, all these corrupt people, replace them, kick them out, don't give them golden handshakes. All these people that have all this control that is essentially government control, when all they are is a fucking, you know, like Facebook and Twitter. They're just supposed to help us be able to send messages easier. That's all they're supposed to be doing. Take the control from them, and all these corrupt people in the FBI, places like that. They're obviously, you know, this sort of shit happened 10, 20 years ago. They'd all be tried for treason.
Who the fuck doesn't want to just go in the store and grab $1,000 worth of shit and just walk out? I mean, go try that.
Yeah.
Let's see everybody in the city start doing that shit and see how quick that doesn't happen.
Who come up with the idea that $1,000 is an acceptable amount to shoplift, for fuck's sake? If you need food, and they don't take food, as I said, they take perfumes, electronics, things like that, anything they can sell on eBay or wherever. Why is £1,000 an acceptable amount to shoplift?
Yeah.
It was like 440 million that the shops were losing, I think, at some point. And why aren't they doing more? There is a place now, a petrol station. I didn't see all of it because it was getting late and I had to come on here, where they now have armed guards because of all the robberies and people trying to rob the customers and things like that. They now have people with rifles near a petrol station.
It's a sanctuary city, though. So that's the weird part. Like, as soon as they started doing that shit, I knew we were in trouble. But this is the one I was looking for. I think you'll agree with this one a lot, because this is where we stand. This is what the problem is with the world, in my opinion.
We're here to investigate a child abuse complaint.
I didn't call the police.
I did. She hit me with a belt.
Is that true, ma'am?
I found out from Daniel's teacher. He's been cutting class. When I asked him about it, he lied. So I hit him.
Come here, kid. How long ago did this happen?
A few hours ago.
How many times she hit you?
3. Whacked me right on the butt.
She hit you anywhere else?
No.
She hit you with her fist or another object?
No. Just the belt.
Before?
No.
Right, I'm going to take that belt and put it into evidence.
Am I going to jail?
You called the police on your mom because she disciplined you for ditching school.
That's child abuse. I've got rights.
Who told you that?
My friend.
Hit him again. You know what? You got some bad advice from your buddies from the playground, pal. You don't ever call the police on your mom. Had that been my mom, you'd be calling me from the floor. I got to be back here again because you were ditching class. I'm going to peel this big belt off and I'm going to hit you myself. You got it? John, get inside. Have a nice day.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that and instantly had to save it. I'm like, dude, there's no way in hell we're not saving that one. And again, that wasn't, I was trying to make it bigger and ended up in the tinier.
Oh, it's fun. I saw it. Well, I had to put my glasses on, but yeah.
It's one of those that I just sit here and I look at the stuff and it's just like, okay.
Well, this is the problem.
One right here though. This one here is going to make you lose your shit. I just wish I could get this shit to work. Unmute you, motherfucker. There you go. There you go, you piece of shit. Okay, this is about the kids. You're going to die when you hear this shit, like legitimately, because it goes right after the one we just watched. Look at this shit.
This shit up. My daughter's school sent a note home on Friday saying that they're allowed to wear costumes to school on Monday. Now, the only rules for them wearing their costume to school is it had to be appropriate for school, and they couldn't wear a mask because it might interfere with their learning experience. I kept reading, waiting for that to be like some kind of a joke, because, you know, for the last 2 years, she's had to wear a mask in school every day. All of a sudden, now it will interfere with the learning experience. Y'all, I can't make this shit up. My daughter's school sent a note.
There you go.
Yeah, he's not making that shit up. That's what I mean, though. Like, there's no logic in the shit they did, and we outed them, and now look at that. Now they're trying to go backwards on it, right? Oh, then they could wait a minute, you know. So I love seeing this stuff when it's on, especially Facebook. I wish that their stupid thingy would work better, so I didn't have all these problems. But I promise it's always going to be worth it. Because like this little silly gal, this shit just, it was one of the ones that made me laugh and think of DL. So
You wearing a mask? I'm supposed to be wearing underwear too, but yet here we are. You're supposed to be wearing a mask. I'm
supposed to be wearing a mask, but I'm supposed to be wearing underwear too. And well, here we are. I ain't wearing none. I mean, that, like, to me, that was a DL moment, man. I seen that and I thought of him instantly. I was just like, okay. It's like, yeah, that's right. You know, that's right for sure. That's about the robots and shit that are killing people that they've got. You know, it's but let's see, where was yeah. Oh, that's, yeah, okay, that's one of them. Son of a gun.
Time, even if you never have, because they can't do any worse than what we have now. They just can't. So maybe in your family you've always been Democrats. I understand that. But today's party is not the Democrat Party of your father and grandfather. Today's Democrat Party is the party of the Silicon Valley billionaires, the Hollywood and Wall Street elitists, and the DC power brokers who are protected by armed guards, fly in private jets, and live behind a gate, while those same Democrats don't think you ought to be able to own a firearm. They want you to ride a bike to work, and they expect you to even pay off the college loans of graduate students while you can't even buy school supplies for your own children. Now, when people are hired to do a job and they fail to do it, you know what happens? They get fired. And when they steal from us, lie to us, and take our freedom away, they shouldn't just get fired. They ought to get indicted. I mean, we may not see mass arrests of government officials who have made millions off of insider deals or who have abused the rights of the weak and the vulnerable, but for gosh sake, we do have the power to say to them loud and clear on Election Day, you're fired.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally, but that's where we're at with this shit. And again, the sad part is, now this is where I'm going to disagree with that. It's kind of hard to do anything when the election's completely rigged in the first place. So
Yeah,
your vote
I
doesn't
mean,
matter. You know, they've proven with this cunt in Arizona that's also on the board that counts the votes. They
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. Like,
Absolutely.
they broke 3 or 4 laws there, and
Yeah.
they don't care.
But it takes so long to get that sort of stuff listened to, and by that time, the next election will run along, and then something else will happen. So they just hope everything disappears, goes under the carpet, move on to the next thing. That's their tactics. Just keep on, more stuff keeps on coming along, and then they'll just forget about the other thing. That's what they always hope for. And it is
Yep.
what's happening, because people have such fucking short attention spans. You know, there's only a few good people in the government that are trying to fight. And all the rest just going on because they don't want to lose what they've got, don't want to be labeled anything. That's the problem.
Well,
you
like
stand up for
President
yourself.
Reagan said, DL brought this up, and I found this clip, which, again, he's not here, but I know he'd love it too. But I'm not going to say that Reagan did everything right, but I think he did more right by us than wrong.
Oh yeah, I said that as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
admired
That's
Reagan.
what I mean. And us living, you know, we were a little bit younger during that time frame, but you know what I mean. But still, respectfully so. After I play this, I got to mute myself because, you know, I don't want the echo. But yeah, dude, I mean, this is one of the reasons that we say this comment that we say.
Promised, help is on the way. And today, help has arrived.
9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
The president promised, help is on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and here this lady's late because, you know, the ducks. You know, there's no sound or anything. It's just
One or
fucking
two
I'm
ducks.
sorry.
You know,
Yeah.
they're you can barely see them. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
they're
she's
teeny
fussing
tiny,
about.
and there's so many of them. But yeah, it was one of those, you know, just one of those things that, you know, I just saved because it was funny. You know, and at the end of the day, it's this stuff on Facebook. You guys can see this. You know, I'm sorry, that one had me losing my. I was like, oh, this is going to be so perfect for the show. You know, and I mean, it's just at the point, where do we finally take our country back? And I've said this for other countries as well. You know, it's time we take our countries back from these people.
It's not just it's not just cut America. It's happening
No.
worldwide, I'm afraid.
Make America America again. Make Australian again. Make the UK again. Fuck Russia. Fuck China and fuck the Middle East. They can all just have a big old fuck sandwich.
Just heard a really, really great metaphor. Call it a metaphor, a story, example of just how far and how fast America has declined. Okay. And so in 2 generations, right, the greatest generation had 18-year-olds storming the beaches of Normandy to save the world, right? Save the world. I find it interesting that all this stuff is happening after they're pretty much 90% gone. But those 18-year-olds stormed the beaches at Normandy knowing that they were friggin' cannon fodder. They were just there for German target practice. And now, just 2 short generations later, those people's great-grandchildren at 18, they can't even, they need a safe space if somebody says something that hurts their feelings. So, yeah, we've gone from storming the beaches at Normandy to needing a place where people can go when somebody else says words that they don't like. Or fuck.
He's not wrong, and I'm not a TikTok fan.
Well, we know that. We've been saying this for a few years now. This is exactly the problem. These people have no fucking spine. They have everything handed to them on a plate. They're never told no. They're not told to get a job and make your own way in the world. They have everything handed to them. And if they tick the right boxes for like who they support and things like that, then they get backed up to the hilt.
Oh, yeah.
They get every chance, even if they waste it.
Well, the shit James Woods talked about, and especially has been coming out talking about now, especially now that Elon,
I know.
he was blacklisted. We knew this. We've known that. We knew about the shit Harvey Weinstein did, but yet again, they just kept letting it happen. This didn't just happen overnight, as we've said. But Susan and, YouTube and Facebook, when you guys don't like what we say, right there's why we say what we say, and we have the freedom of speech. This is not a communist country. You're trying to make it that way. And with Elon buying it, I think it's funny that they're attacking him now. Because I'm like, what has he really ever done that's that bad that they should really want to attack him this bad?
Yeah, but Biden the other day was saying, I think we need to investigate what Elon's been doing abroad. No, motherfucker. Look in the mirror. You're the one who needs to be investigated what was going on abroad. And the thing with James Woods, disgusting. He should be doing, like, great roles still now, But in past 9 years, whatever, I don't know what he's done. But they've literally just fucked him over. And he was one of their most celebrated actors.
Yeah.
Just because he has certain beliefs, you get cancelled. Why? That's got nothing to do with your talent and how you act. Acting is being someone else, not being yourself.
But that's what happened to Tim Allen. Disney owns the show. He was doing Last Man Standing. It was on ABC. Disney owns ABC. They canceled him. See, he went to Fox, and then Disney bought Fox.
Then they took Fox. Yeah.
And I mean, they were after him because he was a Republican.
Yeah.
God forbid you actually go out on the forum and say what we don't tell you. And those are the reasons those actors, Roseanne, the shit that happened to Roseanne, dude. And then they have the new Roseanne show without Roseanne on it.
Yeah.
And that shit was woke and retarded as fuck.
I know.
Like, the best part was her and Dan being old and taking their pills and shit. But, like, the actual show from the original show, no, that was horrible. I'm tired of us having to accept insanity and retardation at 110%.
I mean, when this stuff comes out, people don't like it. They're just throwing at us all the time. It's the old adage, if you throw enough shit, something will stick. Might not be, might not work in this case because the shit you're throwing, it just stinks. It's not very sticky. It's more stinky than sticky. So
What
you're
is
just turning people
yeah.
away.
Yeah, it's
Like
and I'm
this-
going to mute myself again because I am going to play this one. I'm not sure which one this is. I've got a couple of them. I'm trying to find the ones that are really, really important, but because I kept finding a bunch of more, it just got bigger.
Haven't released the Epstein list is because they don't want to create a social uprising. But we all know the people who don't want this list released are the people who are on it. And a lot of those people for the past 2.5 years have been saying we, the people who wouldn't just comply, shouldn't be able to participate in society. We should be shunned, left to fend for ourselves. I say there should be a public uprising for good reason. Let's release that list. Let's go. Because they are the ones who should leave society. They are the ones who should not be allowed in public. They should be the ones out in the wilderness fending for themselves. Or they just shouldn't be alive at all anymore, honestly. One reason they haven't released the Epstein.
Yeah, she said it. Maybe they just shouldn't be alive at all anymore. Yes, because we're talking about pedos. What are they trying to change?
Well, I've said this before. They shouldn't be on the streets at all. They should be in a place where they can be looked after and kept a watch on. They
You and I, okay, look. You can honestly understand why people say if a dog bites a kid, you put him down. Why are you letting grown men molest children and not put them down? But if you want to be humane, exactly. Ootini and I talked about this. We do not, hey Draven, we do not agree or support that shit at all. But that's where an institution like a mental institution would come in handy, where that's where those people go.
Yeah, so we can be
if
equal,
you want
though.
to
It's
be
women.
liberal, that's the way to be liberal with it. Me, I'm Republican, old school Republican. You execute that motherfucker because that ends the problem. Any rapist, anybody that's molesting children, fuck you. You shouldn't be breathing our air. But we shouldn't go, oh, they're the victim. Because if that's what you're saying, you also belong in an insane asylum and or with those people. So there you go. You want to be nuts? Let's get nuts.
So we can be equal. It's women that do it as well. Because we have to be equal nowadays, present year. So we may as well call them out for it as well, because they are child molesters as well. They can be.
Exactly. Because they're supporting it. See, this fella right here, I was talking about you earlier without talking about you. And this isn't directed at anyone, but the Disney comments we were talking about, I'm sorry. We're getting to that point where you cannot say it's not communism when it's communism. And this goes for all the corporations, all the stores. And yeah, we all have to survive. I get that. But you can't be so blindly to say, well, even if I do support it, doesn't mean I'm not supporting communism. Yes, you are. I'm supporting not $7.99 of communism because I pay for Disney Plus. But again, these assholes have raised the price and I won't be keeping it much longer. Because A, there's nothing on there that I have to watch. Yeah, I was actually going to cancel it after this month and get it again in March when we got Andor back. And hopefully I'm hoping the world would be a little bit better off and certain people will be picked up for the crimes they've actually did versus the crimes they're accusing others of doing. But unfortunately, Biden's still not in prison where he belongs, but along with all of them. But I just, I can't help but agree because I am. That $7.99 goes to Disney. We know what Disney is doing. They fucking came out and told you what they're doing. And you guys act like they're not doing it. So I'm sorry. I agree that, yeah, that's unfortunately those of you that don't have kids or I respect that. And thank you for respecting the fact I do have it and not being my friend because I pay $7.99 for Disney. I'm just saying, you're not being a hypocrite at least. But I can agree with you. You guys are all right. I mean, it would have to be everyone would have to turn off their TVs and all the shit in the internet before it would ever change. And that's not going to happen. That's like all of you that hate communism still fucking pay with PayPal. And
it wouldn't be just for one day. You would have to do it for weeks or months for these people to be affected. And most of the stuff you own in your house nowadays, if it's newish, it's probably made in China, somewhere else, you know, because we don't have any industry anywhere else anymore. It was all taken
America
away.
used to make shit. Now all we do is consume. What the fuck do we make other than nothing? You know, all these places went overseas because it was cheaper. And then, you know, again, Disney raising the price for what? What do I get for paying $10.99 a month that I didn't get for fucking $4.99 or $5.99 a month? You know, but there's no inflation, ladies and gentlemen. But the apps that you don't have to have, their prices keep going up. The weird ones, though, the commie ones, Disney. I don't see HBO Max raising their prices. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's the thing. Every day, the positive side of that is every day somebody's leaving, you know, cable or Disney or not going and seeing the movie. Yeah, we got these fake ass, dumbass YouTubers that claim to be fighting a good fight that they ain't fighting because they've crossed to the other side and now want you to send them super chats, the same ones that then when they were a small channel like mine and you know, just first monetized and whatnot, actually read almost every super chat every chat like a super chat. And then nowadays they can't be bothered with people that help them with their company and build their, you know, their brand and whatnot. So, and to each their own, man. You know, you wanna watch Geeks and Gamers, and you want to watch that fucker Gary from Neurotic, and you know, pieces of shit like that, Ethan Van Sciver. Go ahead, that's on you. But they're the same communism that I am bitching about right here and now. Just so you know, because they're doing the same shit. Let's see. You think Disney? I hope not. Because I mean, yeah, I got you. Well, I mean, the thing was, I didn't think they could because then they're not that they're not already a monopoly, but they're a monopoly. You know,
the people in monopolies commissions are mostly on the boards of those companies anyway. It will get through.
Yep.
There's always backhanded stuff going on. Nothing's transparent anymore. You just assume the worst every time you hear something. Oh, well, that's going to be corrupt. Oh, that's going to be a lie. That's, you know, they're saying one thing, but they're going to be doing another. That's the way of the world nowadays.
That's because Jeff is a good guy. And like he said, I just won't work with the guy ever again. I mean, you know, Jeff is very adult about things. And again, that whole shit with Vegas, like I've got some serious issues there myself. I, you know, used to be with Owen's movie blog. That shit happened. Oh, I'm Friday Night Tights. But because I say, hey, you know who I roll with, which I was actually referring to the dogs because everybody knows that I roll with Frank and the Wiener Dog Clan. Like that's who I roll with. I mean, that was established from day one of being, you know, super fan Adam fucking Shawhan here. So that was nothing unknown. But then I get attacked and called a hypocrite because you're thinking I'm referring to World Class while I'm doing my own Friday stream on Exiled Opinion and building myself up and doing my work because I don't watch Friday Night Tights and never did. I tried when the shit started. It wasn't for me. It was just the echo chamber. And that actually kind of hurt the relationship because I was with Odin from the beginning. You know, he had started a couple months before I was on with his channel. And I have no, you know, I don't hate the guy. I'm not trying to say that, but it damaged that when he attacked me for being a hypocrite, though I really wasn't, he was being as big of a hypocrite, if not bigger, for trying to tell me he's Friday Night Tights when he hadn't even been on the fucking show for months. And because the shit in Vegas. I wasn't in Vegas, but I know there were people that were there that I trust and stream with now. And I don't even know what happened, nor did I ever ask him because I don't care. But I know they weren't happy with what happened. And in my opinion, the Vegas thing never should have happened. We were all finally getting back together after COVID-19. We should have been celebrating, every single one of us, every one of us creators, because I'm sorry, whether you have one sub, no subs, or a billion, no one that is a YouTuber is any better than any other YouTuber. I'm sorry. You're not. You're nothing fucking special just because you've got numbers. Numbers don't make you special.
No, well, like you said, they just keep on doing the echo chamber stuff. So,
and I mean, people are buying it. But again, like those of us that are trying to do something a little bit different. And again, okay, I'm not one to just purposely do shit. I stumble across shit. I do. I really do. You can ask Draven. You can ask Etep, Tony from Clown World Review, anybody that's on this panel. Like, I don't really plan a lot. Like, with the Andor stuff, yeah, and Brent, you've seen today, like I had some links and stuff kind of set up to be able to try to make it a little bit easier on me when I'm trying to keep an eye on everything and click and also still, you know, because this isn't scripted. It's literally, you know, we're just here. It's live, baby. We're gonna do it live. But that's how I go. That's my style. The dogs are gonna bark. I try to mute. You know, I'm gonna have an echo from time to time. Yeah, I know, Draven headphones, but you know, again, love you too, bud. But you know, it's just one of those things. I'm not trying to be a big YouTuber. I'm not trying to, you know, the majority of what I do is for my granddaughter. That's it. You know, and I want to be able to leave and say what I want, you know, because that's just me. Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective and myself are a lot alike. You will call us assholes, but we don't give a fuck. Because we're really close to all of us, you know, just like Brent, you know, Tommy's got both of us beat by a couple of years, but again, we were all raised in the same era and we kind of all have kind of the same attitude, you know. You're the more polite one, but then again, you are British.
I can have my moments when I'm a little bit because I'm not cultured. Don't let the accent fool you. I was bred, you know, born and bred on a council estate, so I know
West Country. So,
hey?
Good stuff. West Country, good stuff.
West Country, yeah. Well, there's council estates all over England. Well, not as many now. They all seem to be student-let houses. But yeah, no, I'm not as cultured as people might think I am from this accent.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's, you know, and again, that was just my opinion on the thing. I used to be on with the men's room and Seth and I, like, we were conversating back and forth and debating it. And like I said, look, I'm never going to be on the side of Gary. I just don't like Gary. I don't get a good vibe off that dude. And I know when I was in his chats and whatnot, I'd watch him ignore my shit and go to other people's. And that was fine. You know, it's like, because I'd go on and I'd be myself. I'd also have Frank and the Clan in there and I'd make a comment, you know, from the dogs talking, you know, because I just wait for certain people to say certain shit. I don't know what it's going to be, but somebody will say something and I'll be able to make a good joke with it. That's it. It's improv. You know, that's all I'm doing here. It was improv in the chats and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was just one of those, that's kind of how I did my thing. And then when you're kind of getting hate, you just don't go back. I didn't agree with a lot of what he said either. Just because you might have had a comic book store doesn't mean you know fuck all about comics, pal. Like, I didn't own a comic book store, but I sure as shit owned billions of comics. From the 60s, 70s, 80s, from the 90s. I pretty much kind of quit after that, but when it went to shit. But yeah, I mean, and again, that's to each their own. I found some good stuff through some independent creators that I really like. So I bought it and I talk about it because, well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it helped me find this community and people. So I'm thankful of that. But it had lost its way after a certain point. And that's, you know, I would just turn up and put stuff in the chat. But it got to the point where it's like, nah, I'm not really that interested in all this circle jerking. So,
no, nobody touched each other, dude. It wasn't like that. Basically, it was a bitch out move. It wasn't even Gary. It was his wife, because Gary has no balls. His wife was bitching because they had, like, Jeff put out some comics and shit. Now, mind you, they all knew they were coming. And mind you, Jesse Milestone at the time was still a Geeks and Gamers employee. Because I asked her at Horror Hound. I said, this is going to sound really stupid, but I don't understand what happened, and I don't want to talk about what happened. I just want to know, weren't you still with Geeks and Gamers as an? And she said, yes. I said, that's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. That justified everything I said, because all I said was, if it was a Geeks and Gamers and Friday Night Tights, whatever, she was still part of Geeks and Gamers. And they got mad because Jeff like put down some stealing solo copies or whatever, and that's what pissed them off. And then it was, oh well, this person said some mad shit or blah blah blah. I remember when Gary was a fucking nobody and on World Class Bullshitters, and then he burnt Doomcock as well. Because mind you, I like Doomcock. I know some of the other guys don't, and that's fine. But again, we can agree to disagree and be friends. I mean, this guy here, we poke fun at him because of Darby Allin and Lincoln Muskin. But, you know, we watch wrestling, which we'll be watching later tonight, the AEW, and having a blast, ripping on each other as we used to in the 80s and the 90s. And, you know, those of us with good friends that, you know, you can poke fun at. That motherfucker will come right out and be like, I'm Shawhan, I got diabetes. And I die laughing every time. Or Etep in the nose. And, of course, you know, Nelson knows this. Parrot Head knows this. OG probably not so much, but I mean that's okay. Draven does, but I mean, you know, because we're all in the same circles of YouTubers, you know, and that's fine. And there's going to be people, DL, you know, there's some that he followed. I have no idea. You guys know who they are, Brent. You know, Jesus, I can't even think of their names. He's always talking about them. But he's like, you know, it's just, but that's what the part of YouTube was. You would find, you know, where you kind of fit in. It's kind of like high school, right? But then it goes beyond high school to full. Okay, we're adults here, and then people are doxing people and, you know, doing evil shit, and you guys are still supporting them. That shit that EVS and them, all those clowns did, man, that shit ain't cool. You know, with the Liam Gray thing, that wasn't when you're sending people shit on Craigslist in America. It was called something else in Aussie land. Gumtree. Gumtree's their version of our Craigslist. And you're sending money to people to break out a guy's windows who has kids, who was your friend, and now you're just beating the dude down because you continually like to. Like, I challenged EVS, get in the ring, motherfucker. Why don't you come get in the ring with me? You want to fight? I'll fight you. I mean, I don't own anything, so you can't sue me, you fat fuck, you piece of shit frog. But I'll kick your fucking ass. I got no problems whooping your ass.
It's just keyboard warriors, though, isn't it? If they have a band with them, then they're strong. If they're on their own and they have their anonymity, but they, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like Doomcock. I mean, he wished Frank a happy birthday. I still send him pictures of the dogs. He writes back, and I haven't since becoming a YouTuber, I really don't watch a lot of YouTube. I'm hanging out with Draven and Tony and, you know, a bunch of other people too. And I mean, and again, I used to YouTube all the time. And then I started getting some of the apps because they had the TV. And then, I mean, you know, I'm always doing a lot of other shit too. So depending on cycles and wiener dogs and all that stuff. But, and you know, that thing called real life, because let's face it, this is not life. This is me hanging out with my friends, or, you know, where we have panels and we discuss things. That's, you know, that's what this is. And it is fun. I have a lot of fun with it. I actually getting on this guy here. I remember him being Nelson the Gentleman. That's what I always remembered him as. And then he went to the psychopath, and that's fine. But I mean, I literally just got off the phone with him. We were talking coming on. And you know, nobody's going to pick on our little vampy AngelousDraven here. He's our vampire. You know, you want to kill our vampire, you got to get through me first. So, and you know, we might be sitting here, you know, and you don't know, I'm 6 foot, bitch. I'm not tiny, you know, and I know how to fight, because again, we came from a generation that didn't give a fuck. You know, we pretty much have warned you guys and told you guys, but you don't seem to listen.
She's dead. She died of fentanyl. Choked to death, fitting all these nuts in her mouth.
Yeah, I just had to. I mean, it's what it felt like. I was like, you know, Etep gets the Floyd jokes and the you know, all that good stuff, but I saw that, and well, hell, I'm old with gray beard, so I figured I approve of that message because it's fucking hilarious.
I'm probably going to be laughing now for the next half hour on and off. I do like it.
You betcha. Hey, this dude, right? First time I met him, First time I met him at Whorehound, I'll come on camera for this shit. I meet him for the first time. Not only do I meet him, but Justin Proper, who, you know, I've known since he started, helped get him started. He's mentioned it numerous times. Love him, you know, to death. Great friend. But first time I meet Draven, we'd hung out and, you know, done some shows and stuff together. We didn't really know each other that much. This guy drives my car, drives us because the guys are drunk. I'm sober. He's sober. But, you know, is willing to drive all the drunk people. And I'm like, well, we can take my car. I got a Prius. It gets great gas mileage. Perfect. Drove fine. We had a good laugh. All three of us laughing, having a good time. So, I mean, and it just speaks on his character. So, yeah, I do. Do I simp for a vampire? Well, he's not really a vampire, so that's okay. But, hey, Wes. But, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Good people. Totally different way. There's shit that he likes that some of us are going, are you fucking with me right now? And again, vice versa. It can go both ways. But he's a good dude. And he put the safety because basically I'm watching Hicks and the guys, they're drinking. This is not last year, but the year before at Whorehound. You know, everybody's drinking. Everybody's, you know, got to meet Nick Glenn. That dude was a fucking hoot from Echo Base Network. Great guy, though. Like, we all hung out. Had a blast. Jeff the Iron Wolf was there again. I love it getting to get together with these people. And this year I didn't get to, unfortunately. But March is going to be epic. So we're going to have some fun at Whorehound in March. 3 tables.
I know you're looking forward to that.
I really am. The only thing locally I'm looking forward to, other than meeting Nelson the Psychopath, Lou Ferrigno, but it's in March as well. So I got to double check the time frame because the game plan is to still surprise my mom and take her to meet Lou Ferrigno. So she can tell him the story of me, how I watched The Incredible Hulk as a child. Because I'm sorry, as a 2-3-year-old, I think it's fucking funny, but I want her to tell him. Because I could tell Lou. I could go meet him and be like, yeah, Vinny Tartamella. I could name drop Vinny, you know, told me you're a real cool guy. And, you know, I stream with Vinny, da-da-da. But no, I just want to be like, look, I want my mom to tell you the story of how I used to watch The Incredible Hulk. And let her tell it, you know? And I think that's, I don't know. That's just, to me, shit. I don't know. That'll be a great moment in life that I actually, you know, got to do that with her. You know, my dad went around. He's dead now, but you know, I mean, it was mom. And when that, you know, that cop, fucking, you don't call the cops on your mom. Yeah, but take this belt and whip your ass.
Oh yeah,
like I love it. I was just like, oh, that is perfect. But yeah, man, it's, you know, I don't know. It's all, do what you want. But Draven's a good dude. I sent him. I've sent him some stuff. Like, we all started doing the wrestling stuff with Tony, and it was great, man. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. It's Jeff's good people, and we don't say it because of the YouTube channel. We've met these. Okay. I felt really bad because, as y'all know, WCBS, High Council, that fat fucking gay ass frog was on there. So I, you know, kind of felt bad that I was saying the shit I was saying. So I messaged him and was like, and I talked with Nick and Nick Utam. Nick said everything was fine. Not to, he laughed actually. He's like, no, we're good. I'm like, look, man, if anything I'm saying is going to affect you as a channel, I apologize. And that's not my goal, but I'm not going to be censored. It's bad enough they do it on here and Facebook, and they were doing it on Twitter. They still kind of do, and I know they're working on the bugs. Hey, Elon, you really want to do something? When these bitches follow me and you click on their thing and there's 1 or 2 pictures, that's a fucking bot. How about we make a worldwide law where we don't have any more of these fucking bots? Let's start humanity off right. Let's get rid of these stupid ass bots. We don't need them. Kill them. Get rid of them. So
I think that is on his to-do list, but he's got other stuff to do at the moment. So
I hope so. But I mean, I haven't met Jeff, and then he's like, you know, why? And I hadn't talked with Jeff in almost a year, not because I wasn't able to go to Whorehound. They didn't go. He was in Ohio, but anyway, I wasn't able to make it. So I just told him, I'm like, I don't agree with what was done to Liam. Not that that had anything to do with it, but I know who, and I'm fucking against that shit. You know, I'm not saying that if you have something to do with him, I won't have anything to do with you, Jeff, because that's just an asshole thing. He was part, and he's like, dude, we were never friends. Like it never was like that. And he's like, you gotta understand, like, we have fans. He goes, I get that. And we have people that are just in the chat. It's just chat people. He goes, and then there's the people that you kind of get to know. And then there's the people that come and meet you at the whorehouse. He goes, then there's people like you that are family that have had breakfast with my mom, who have spent time with my mom. Draven, exactly, brother. So these things are not seen, hey, Gap, by Jeff. He does. And he appreciates everybody. Like we were discussing, Brandon Moist. With Nelson, I was talking about that. You guys know I'm still getting over it. I'll never be over it, though. I will always miss my friend. You know, not a day goes by, I don't think about it. And it hurts every day the same. But what's up, Brian? That's just me. You know, I had to deal with that. That's a loss. But when you meet good people like Brian TV here, Brent, everybody in this chat, Euler Greg, I've done streams with Euler. He was having a hard time, but it was always fun. Gap, I've been on with Gap. I've been on with, I don't, Parrot Head, maybe not. You're always in the chat. I don't think you've ever streamed. And if you have, I apologize. Yeah, I'm not trying to misinform anybody. But I mean, for the most part, yes, we are all kind of in the same circles, and that's not bad. But like Brian is in different circles, which is funny because like we eventually all connect into a fucking circle anyway, no matter what you do.
It's a convergence, and I think a lot of, I mean, because you know the truth be told, it how it came to be was you know a lot of us came from either Comicsgate or the Fandom Menace in one way, shape, or form. And so that's probably that's exactly what happened. And there's those people that don't mind the crossover, and then at some point, you know, it's just like, well, screw this, let's do our own thing. We keep hearing the same crap over and over and over and over and over again.
Yep.
You know, so that's how it all culminates. For the most part, that's how it did.
Yeah. Well, you and I met by pure coincidence. Again, it was like the Bonnie days, you know, the panels where, you know, and that was it. That's how we met. And then you were doing a stream. I jumped on, you know, we pretty much started talking. I was about I mean, that was way back when. And again, you know, we've got each other's numbers. It's, you know, sometimes we fall out, but it's not because of a situation. It's just life gets in the way.
Oh yeah, life happens. Like for me, like I've been really busy these last few months, working and training, and it just there's things I wanted to do, and I just don't have time for certain things. Like I don't have that much time to do YouTube stuff these days, and I don't have much time to even do the drawing stuff I was doing. So it's like each week I was like, am I gonna get able to do anything done in that regard? Right. And a lot of times it turns out to be no, because in the middle of doing all that, what else needs to happen? I have to pay bills. I got to go grocery shopping. You know,
I have to go find food because there's none in the stores.
I have to sleep. So
no, that's not allowed, brother. You're not allowed.
Yeah,
to sleep.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then the other problem within time is some of the YouTubers that we used to all hang out on aren't really streaming anymore. You know, so you know that's the other thing. Due to a lot of the same issues that you're talking about, because they as well can't. You know, they've got other shit going on. So that happens as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I remember, you know, you'd be doing your thing, and you know, we'd have so many different crossover events where we were all running into this, you know, on the same shows, and it was great. But when you really think about it, a lot of the people we were on, they're not streaming as much. There's a few, but not many.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter, and they run into the same exact things that we run into. Life happens, and they're doing it for the same reasons we are. That is A, it's fun, and B, we get to hang out with people that we probably wouldn't meet in our like immediate real life circles.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm blessed because of my work and getting to travel. So, like, but you're one of like 8 people that live where you live in your state, and I mean, but I know that again, because, you, Tommy the Guinea Pig Collective, Vinny, just the top 3. And I'm like, okay, Sunny Cat, there's 4, one of the Tinas lives over there, I think. There's Tina. Yeah. So there's so many Tinas, and no offense to any Tinas that are listening. We've got Tina Bojan, Tina BB, we've got Tina T, who I'm talking about. I mean, there are quite a few Tinas. So yeah, we love all you ladies, by the way. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those. Exactly. If I know what state I'm going to be in, like, I was going to be in Draven and Red Gaze's state, but where I was going to be was nowhere near either of these guys. So when I went, I was not able to meet up with either one of them. But Draven and I, we generally see each other at the Horror Hounds, which works out. And again, at some point, we're just going to go get him, and we're just going to go invade Etep and just be like, "Hi, we're here. Deal with us." And he'll be like, "You're on the couch, and you go get a hotel." I'll be like, "All right, I'll go get a hotel." But anyway, just kidding. We would not do that. But it's funny. But yeah, I mean, literally, it's one of those, like, that's how I plan my vacations. Delivering dogs is seeing those of you that I have the opportunity to see if it's there. So when we did we committed to Horror Hound this next year coming up, is so that guys like Brian, for example, if he was free and able to come up, or, anybody, it doesn't matter. I don't think Vinny's going to be able to make it, or Chris, but we're going to try to have some of their product there, though, to also still help push our guys' stuff. Coming up soon, you guys all hear about Nelson and how he's an artist and a tattooist. He's going to do a cover up for me. So we're going to have shots of a picture from 1992 that was done by a biker without a thumb. Because that's back how you used to have to get tattoos here, because they didn't have them in Indiana. It was illegal. You had to go to Michigan to get a tattoo. And yeah, so my first ink in 92 wasn't even professional. And it's the only one that hasn't been professional. They've all been professional. Well, you'll love this. This is the reason it happened. The friend of mine, and I quote, said, "This is no shit. I'll pay, but you got to go first." Because in his mind, if it hurt me, he wasn't going to get it done. The guy that's been taking shots for fucking, a decade almost at that point. Well, not quite, but still. That was his logic. So that's how I got that one, the guitar. And I'm like, it really needs to be reworked. It needs to be redone. It looks awful. And it's, I mean, again, it wasn't professional. Everything else has been Michiana Tattoo Emporium in Niles, Michigan, which is now owned by the artist that did the dragon paint. So, and again, nothing personal. I just haven't made it up there. Nelson's local. He's 40 minutes away. Come on, Brian, you know me. I want to go get it done so he can show off his work, and then I can promote the shit out of the guy, because I have a reason to promote my homeboy, saying, "Hey, he's a few years younger than me. We went to the same high school, went and played pool at the same places, probably ran into each other a time or two. But now we're going to make that connection. And we're not only doing it just because we're YouTubers and just because of him being an artist, but it just, see, I just stumble into shit. And it, again, wanting to help him. And as I help him, it helps me as we all grow together, as we've all said from day one.
Yeah, it's like a rabbit hole. Back in the day, you used to get on YouTube and just like go down the rabbit hole. Video after video turns into one thing. Now that it's all stupid algorithm, doesn't really work that way anymore. But it turns into a rabbit hole when you start doing streaming, and once you start getting outside the in the box thing. Sadly, a lot of bigger people have to stay in that box because of the way the algorithm works, which is sick in my opinion.
Oh, it is. It is. You're not wrong.
Yeah. But
we shouldn't have algorithms though.
but they make it a dependability, like that is their job. Unfortunately, it turned into a job and a career and not anything fun. Not to say that they don't have fun, but I'm sure there's a lot of things they have opinions on, whether it's, political, entertainment, or even just underwater basket weaving that they can't really talk about. Otherwise, it would just jog the algorithm saying, "Oh, you went off your track. You can't, we're not gonna We're not going to recommend you. We're going to throttle you, and
Shadow ban.
subscribers are going to slowly disappear. You know,
Oh, yeah.
and that's what happened with my channel. I was getting close to 500, but I was making videos on about anything, and it wasn't a problem before, but now it's a big problem.
Oh yeah.
And so that's why I have a secondary channel that I've been live streaming on, and once that I guess 6-month buffer zone is up, I'm gonna just start doing streams on my main channel. And I found out that streams, you really don't need an overall topic.
Yeah, because you've been watching me long enough.
No, you don't need an overall
No,
topic.
you don't.
It's
You're
not
right.
gonna, you know,
Yeah.
it's just unlike videos where it has to be in a specific genre.
Right.
You can't cross genre.
I got you. Oh, yeah. Well, and it helps that you and I and a lot of us, we're doing it and we're having fun, but we're not counting on it for a job. Like, again, those people all started off against the wheel that are now in the wheel because they're on the algorithm and they have to, no different than the actors that did shit they didn't want to do, you know, and I'm just that guy that's like, I'm not doing any of this shit.
You know, I was in a supermarket today, and you know how they have the magazine racks, and who's that big one? Is it Time or whatever it is?
Yeah.
And then it says something about the Grateful Dead, and I'm sitting there thinking, you know, wasn't the Grateful Dead all about like anti-establishment and things like that?
Yep.
So many of these bands and people were anti-establishment, but yet down the road they turned out to be the biggest corporate shills ever. Like it turned into
Rage
a brand.
Against the Machine that became the machine. Yeah.
Yeah, the logo becomes a brand, and it's like, and it's just like, and that's okay to have a brand, but I'm just like, wow, you really went so far from the course, you know. And I overheard you talking just a little bit ago, and I was getting all my beverages and stuff ready, and I just got done making a batch of pizzelles. I was bagging them up.
Nice.
And so, and I was hearing you talk about, you know, like you know, some of the bigger channels like Geeks and Gamers and stuff. And it's like, you know what? Not once do I ever recall Geeks and Gamers making a video about any video game other than Jeremy pissing and moaning about Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
That's the only, like, it's all about Star Wars this, Star Wars that. It's like, okay, fine, but you're called Geeks and Gamers. Where are the games?
Yeah.
Where are the damn games, Jeremy?
I mean, I know now that he's got the gigantic corporation he has, because he's moved up since he started back when we watched him, bro. He's done well for him, and hey, that's fine.
No,
Again,
me neither.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
just
I
where
can
the
talk
games.
shit though, and so can you. And this is my channel, and I'll say what the fuck I want on my own channel. You know, I mean, and I'm sorry, I never got to meet the guy. I would still love to. I'd still love to meet Odin. I don't have anything against Odin. I'm just saying, this is my perspective of how I viewed the shit. You know, because I had people hit me up. Well, what happened? What happened? Why is he saying that shit? I'm like, I have no fucking clue. You know, I was proud of myself because I'd been working on, you know, just being a YouTuber even, but it was the same growth as before, helping other people out. You know, I had a Friday show. I'd go and had where I was volunteering and helping out there, and, you know, just was in a good part of my life. And I was working out, and it was after I quit smoking. So, you know, I was doing a workout, and I just couldn't believe the way I got attacked. And I shared it with some other YouTubers. Like I clipped it, the parts that he had said before you could clip them, and I sent it to him in the text message. And I'm like, I just don't understand the hatred at me on this. Like, what the fuck did I do? I wasn't in Vegas, nor did I have a fucking thing to say about it, other than I don't like Friday Night Tights and never did. Actually, I said I don't like Gary and never did. Because that dude reminds me of a pedo. I'm sorry, he just does. He fucking gives me a creepy vibe. I do, like, I got a good vibe off you, Brent. Obviously, you know, there's certain people that other people are fine with. I have a bad vibe off of them. I mean, I've been on air with a few people. I generally do not stream with motherfuckers. I will not stream with a motherfucker I don't like. If I get a bad vibe off of you, I will generally avoid them, but sometimes you just get stuck going on there, you know, like with your Myra Kitties and shit. You don't have much of a choice. but nobody likes her. So I mean, we all know this. It's nothing new. We've been dancing, but now I'm at that point where I'm not dancing around anything. Look, if you got something to ask me, then ask me. If you ain't got balls enough to bring it to the table, then go fuck yourself. I'm done. I'm done with the sissy pissy bullshit. The shit in Vegas, yeah, I have friends in Vegas.
What
Chefs in Vegas.
what happened in Vegas? That was the claim.
It was the whole fucking, Jeff and them showed up. And then because there was that whole drama with Mecca and goddamn Tom, somehow they were saying that Gary got drug into that. But the time frame that they were talking about, that's not what happened. Like, they really weren't talking about Gary from Neurotic.
No,
and then eventually I
'cause-
know Gary fucked over Doomcock, and there was all that shit. And I'm just like, and Ryan Kennel and all his shit. And I'm just like, look, guys, I get it. I'm not a drama channel, and I'll bring up some shit sometimes, or the shit with Jez. I still don't fucking know. So it's like all I know is I started doing this show because on the other show with Jesse and all the guys, I'd mentioned doing a weed talk, as a joke, and a lot of people really were perspective, like, hey, yeah, we should do that. And then I did it. We did the second episode, and we showed Tim Pool's shit saying you could talk about COVID, and that's when they shut us down. We didn't even say anything. We just started talking, and they pulled the fucking stream and said medical misinformation.
Yeah, I mean, wait till Twitter relaunches Periscope again or something,
Yeah.
I mean, Elon's been talking about possibly doing a video, a competition to YouTube.
Well, YouTube and Facebook, brother, it'd be awesome if he did it.
I mean, Twitter did have Periscope for a while, but then there's this is not catching on, so we're stopping it.
Right.
But the way it was working, it was kind of like Minds. And no disrespect to Minds, but also you can't live stream on Minds or something like that. You could just basically it's like an amalgamation of posting videos on MySpace. That's what Minds is. But the whole Twitter Periscope thing, it was. I mean, yeah, you could live stream on it, but remember, you had to go by Twitter rules, and at that time, Twitter rules really sucked, and so that's why no one was catching a break on Periscope. But if he wants to relaunch that again, and maybe make it better, I didn't like the little small video boxes on Periscope either. It sucked.
Right.
But if he's actually going to make a full-fledged competition with YouTube, and I think he's pulling in Mr. Beast is what I'm thinking is what I've heard, but but to me that doesn't mean a hill of beans one way or the other.
Right.
But you see the way all the censorship and flagging has decreased. And the only people getting screwed on Twitter now are the people that involved with all the bad stuff that has happened.
Well, I mean, I know Lethal got hit. Lethal Lightning got hit. I don't know why. Because Tommy the Guinea Pig, he had shared. Somebody had shared it. I retweeted it, and then because I've been saying the same thing, like, "Hey, Elon, this is what you need to do." And here's the thing: for all of you that are that dumb to think that, okay, first off, if Apple says we're no longer going to have Twitter on our network, well, that's fine because one, we have browsers, you dumb fucks, that we can still get it on.
Oh, I never had the Twitter app. I always
right. No, I know. But here's my point. Here's the even better part. You're going to love this because this is how dumb people are. They don't realize what was already in play. Okay, but first off, just to make it that simple, you don't have to have the app in order to get on Twitter. That's rule number one. You don't need it on your phone. You can just use your browser. Two is, are you really that fucking stupid to think that the man that is doing all the things he is doing didn't already have that as a backup plan to have a phone? Now he's got his own app, his own phone, and maybe if you're going to censor speech, now I'm not going to put your shit on my phone. That sounds like something Elon would do to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, and all these people, I saw the stuff where they're talking all that shit about, the Twitterverse, the Twitterverse. I think all the news stations need to be fucking fined. All those people that reported wrong need to be punished. They want an amnesty for this shit that we had to deal with. How about some justice for once? You guys forced us into shit that is un-American, unlawful. It's time you go to jail. All of you. You are rounded up, and they don't have to go to jail here. We can send them to other jails in other countries. I'm fine with that.
Can we reopen up Alcatraz?
And not fix it and put them in it? Yes. Yes. And burn it? Yes. Yes.
Send them all to Alcatraz.
Yeah. But I mean, like, seriously, we used to have mental health facilities, and now they shut them all down. And now they want to talk about mental health when they do this retarded shit to us, and then they're attacking us. You know, I never thought I'd live long enough. I did not honestly think I'd still be here or that I would ever see America turn communist. But I've seen it. I've sat there and watched us be called commies by commies and then do commie shit and ruin an election. The local shit that just happened. I'm sorry. I believe in voting. My granddaughter's birthday was vote day. She turned 1. Brian, we all 3 went. Myself, my daughter, and my granddaughter. My granddaughter didn't vote, but she had 2 stickers. And afterwards, we went out to eat because the lady gave her a sticker. And then, you know, she got a sticker from my daughter, and I gave her my sticker. And the guy at the Cracker Barrel, without missing a beat, went, "Oh, you voted 3 times. Must be a Democrat." I go, "Oh, hell no. We're Republican." And I showed him my ticket because I took a picture of it. All Republican. And on the parts where it asked about the judges, if they should get to keep their jobs, I don't even know who the fuck the judges were. But if you were a judge in the 2020 year all the way through now, you do not belong on any judge. Any doctor who is now apologizing for not giving you the medical information that they were under oath to do in the first place should lose their license and be fucking in prison for at least a good amount of time. Because for 2 years we've been in prison, whether you like it or not. Fair, you know, turn around, fair play, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's to me, it's been ridiculous, and like if Elon's serious about having Twitter expanded to doing like video streaming, I'm all for it. Well, yeah, it is boring to discuss, and it does seem like the same patterns. But you see, here's the thing: whether you like it or not, Euler Greg, you are going to run into it everywhere. It's going to be in your entertainment. It's going to be in your movies, your TV shows, your books, anything. I mean, it's just going to be all around you, whether it's subtlety or blatant. You can't escape it, and it's on a much bigger scale. It's on a spiritual scale, unfortunately, more so than a physical scale. And a lot of them do conjure up evil spirits and sell their souls to Satan. It's true. They say it themselves.
Hell, look at who's in the White House right now.
Mm-hmm.
Point taken.
Oh yeah. Point taken. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, and it is. I mean, we don't dwell and focus on it. Here's the thing: like Brent and I and DL watched Andor, and we really liked it. We liked the storytelling. We enjoyed the world building, and I was really fucking cartoon high, Brian. And I came up with this beautiful fucking thing, though. And you know, it's like I should have just been watching cartoons, but I was very creative at the time, also. So we're sitting there talking. I go, "Here's the thing that I have about it. If it's in it," and that's what I said. If it's there, I meant to say if it's there or not, it doesn't matter, because if that's all you're looking for, you're going to see it whether it's there or not.
Oh yeah, like I've seen it happen with you know, like we could just call them outrage channels here on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's certain films, certain TV shows where it's not. I mean, yeah, it's there, but it's not like in your face there. It's not like smacking you upside the head there. But then there's like, "Oh, such and such has this in it. It's got woke." It's like, yeah, okay, sure. You'll find something there. There's always a nugget of it, but it's not always. I mean, it's like you know, it's you know, the devil's not going to be under every rock,
right?
Know?
Based off the way they think, Brian, here's how I think real quick. Star Wars, A New Hope, if you want to call it that, but Star Wars. By today's standards, that movie is woke as fuck. Princess Leia, She's making all the men look like shit. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it is. But by today's standards, the 1970s movie is woke. By some term, because there's so many different versions of wokeness.
Well, I mean,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
because she's the ruling monarch and has to tell the
Yes.
the rogue what to do. You know,
Yes.
you
Thank you.
know.
Yes. See, you can articulate what I can't. But that's what I mean, dude. It's literally, it's not. But if that's what you're looking for, Red Sonja, Alien, all these great movies that were progressive are all now woke. They'll never agree to it. They don't have the balls to say, well, damn, you're right. You know,
Yeah.
because I'm not calling it woke. I'm just saying through that, you know.
Yeah, but they have to go through the same hero arc that they
Yes.
don't nowadays. They just have these powers and they have everything nowadays. Whereas before, Ripley had to fucking fight to get to the Narcissus, and Red Sonja had to fight to kill Queen Gedrith. So,
And Princess Leia was fucking fighting the whole goddamn time from the start of the movie, for fuck's sake.
Right, like she believed in the cause and she was fighting for it. You know,
Yes.
and it's I mean, yeah, I agree with you 100% because like now it's like, oh well, she's just born with these skills, and not only is she born with these skills, she can master them like in 30 minutes. And it's like, what? Oh yeah, she can master these skills that she's had all along in 30 minutes, whereas the male counterpart had to do it like over the course of a whole feature film, you know. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it's not suspension of disbelief though. It is literally what the fuck. But that's
It's
what it
it's
is
what you
nowadays.
call Mary Sue. Mary Sue.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not for the sake of the plot to keep it moving to make it go quicker. It's just literally the fact, no, these people are fantastic. Look at them, put them on a pedestal. Well, no, they haven't done anything to show that there's any adversity or anything like that. It's boring.
I mean, this is why people prefer Batman over Superman, you know. As far
Well, yeah,
as like
because
just the general character.
yeah, he normally gets the shit kicked out of him at least once, and then he comes back from it. But I like Superman.
Oh,
But
yeah,
then
I
again,
like
he's
Superman,
different
too.
because he is an alien. He's not from this
And he's
planet.
doing good things. He could rule us all, yet he chooses not to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've even later in life got those runs where they came up with that. Like, here's a thought, and it did just pop in. Blame it on the, you know, whatever the hell I'm smoking. But so remember when there wasn't gay in TV? Like, it wasn't about being gay. And then Ellen came out about being gay to her mom for real. Like, pre that shit, I don't really remember. Like, I mean, yeah, George Takei was gay, but he wasn't playing a gay character. You know
there
what I
was
mean?
an episode there. I think before, right? It either happened right around the same time or right before Ellen came out of the closet. There was this episode of Roseanne. Everybody was talking about, oh wow, she's gonna kiss a woman in this episode.
Yeah.
And everybody was talking about.
Yep.
I mean, you know, I was not allowed to watch Roseanne.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is, we watched Ellen up until when she came out of the closet. It's like, oh nope, we're not watching Ellen anymore.
But now look, that's all the shows are about. Like, I got tired of every week there'd be some new show with two gay guys, one was black, one was Asian, or it was some kind of combination like that. And I'm thinking, but why? Why is it that that's what and that again, this is, you go back to where we were at and where entertainment was entertaining, and then we tell you guys, hey, look, this shit is not entertaining. And they've gone so far because we grew up in the era to live. I'm sorry. We have seen greatness, and it will never be any better than what we got. We had everything, dude. Everything. Think about it. You had the Fresh Prince, whose dad, didn't want nothing to do with him, but his Uncle Phil raised him. We had In Living Color. You had Archie Bunker. I mean, we had from one spectrum to the other. And the day those towers fell, I'm sorry, racism was gone. We weren't worried about racism at all. That didn't come back until the asshole came in office saying he wanted change. And that change was communism.
Yeah, right about then, it's like, wait a minute, why are we digging up dead corpses? And it's like, why are you digging up dead corpses? Well, you know what? if that town or community or wherever it is that you're living in is racist, move out. Move out. And but see, the thing is, it's like what was I was going on about? I had a thought and then it just left me. Oh yeah. Okay. So basically, we have these the like the television shows. How it worked out was it was just basically just enough. And so once you started seeing like gay characters, first they started out being the clown, the comic relief,
Right.
and of course people they don't know how to be originals. So like I'm talking about in society, they copy everything they see on TV. So those that were gay decide to act like the gays on TV. Before that, in the 1980s, you couldn't tell who was gay or who was not until, it's like, oh, well, so-and-so just walked out of a gay bar. Oh, I didn't know he was gay, type of thing. Then they put in like an attitude to it. Then they all started acting that way. Then the same with lesbians. There was before, like I'm going to tell you, there was more lipstick lesbians.
Oh, definitely.
And now there's more butch lesbians. Why? Yep. Because culture dictates. And then you have, and it came up to a point where you had some people saying, "Oh, I'm gay, but I like the opposite sex." Then you're not really gay. Basically, you just hopped on a bandwagon. You're what we called in the 90s. You were called a poser. Talk about like those who dressed like surfers or skaters but weren't. But now it goes to something else. So then we have the whole trans thing and everything else. So basically, it comes down to like a kind of like a fad. Like, but you're taking, it's social engineering. It's like taking trend setting, but actually putting it into people's their preferences.
Yeah.
And it's like they're so basically they're forced to do something they might not normally do or might not want to do, or just to be accepted, or just to keep their job.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's a social engineering. And this is exactly what happened. And recently there's an article that came out written by someone who was in the Navy saying that the whole trans, and he used to be he was a man, became a woman, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna be a man again, because this whole like trans identifying thing is a cult. And you know what? And and before this whole thing, it's not like we didn't have transsexuals or transvestites before, but they were few and far between. I mean, you had the cross dressers. We've always had those. And then you had the handful that would go get a sex change operation. That wasn't new, but that was something that they seriously considered and didn't do it until after they became adults. Now we're talking giving kids puberty blockers?
Oh, dude, the shit they're talking about is insane. Yeah.
I mean, I
don't want to be a boy. I want to be a girl. So take my balls, and you're not even of age to make that decision, and they don't want the parents to know. What the fuck? They're yeah.
No. And I mean, of course I would not accept, but if I was a liberal parent, I would at least say this. I would say, honey, if you want to be, say it was a girl, it's like, if you want to be a boy, feel free to dress like a boy and act like a boy and do all these stuff, but I'm not going to have you do a sex change. Well, why not? Well, if you get a sex change, you're not going to enjoy it. And basically that's something you're going to have to maybe do when you're of age, when you're an actual adult. In fact, I don't think if anybody's wants to do a sex change, they shouldn't do it till they're like mid-20s, late 30s, because
they know, man. Till they
not just
really
till they know, but till their bodies actually developed.
That too.
Definitely. Because sometimes people they're not fully developed till they're mid-20s.
Right.
I mean, they're adult, yeah, but they're still
growing though.
They're
Yeah,
still
at
growing.
18, you don't stop growing. You're still maturing. Your body's still
Mm-hmm.
growing. Your mind's still growing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I was a smaller person at 23 than I was at 28. I was still an adult, but still.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my frame wise. And so, I mean, just talk about something you could completely destroy, and you want to cut 20 years out of your life. Fine. Go, cut off your naughty bits and have pretend ones.
I mean, if you're a Democrat these days, this communist, it's not even Democrats. The commie party, if you're for the commie party, you should be neutered. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. I don't want you reproducing. It's, we're getting all the new numbers with the amount of illegals that are actually here and how much money it's costing each taxpayer, and they're not listening. The facts that a pedophile is no longer wanting to be called a pedophile, they want to call it something else, and they're normalizing
Maps. Oh gosh.
Yeah, we're gonna call them kid fuckers because that's what they are. Actually, they should just be called fucking. They're not called anything because they're extinct because Frank Castle wiped them all the fuck out. Hi, my name is Frank. Yeah, that's how it should be. Or if you want to be more humane than I am, as I said earlier, this is where your mental institutions we used to have could house those people.
Yeah.
If you really want to look, you're not going to make a raper quit raping. You're not going to make a ghetto guy quit being ghetto. You're not going to make evil not be evil. I'm sorry, 66 Batman. It was a great fucking series, and the ideas are great, but they are not going to work. Look at the society we now have because of your bullshit. And you can thank feminism because that's where this shit's coming from. Feminism and communism, baby, hand in hand. Because the women are pissed. Who teaches our kids? Women. These liberal fucking psychopath women that are really not liberal. Because, liberalism isn't what it was, just like Democrats and Republicans isn't what it was as we grew up, gentlemen.
And the thing I just want to point out, and not too many people are catching on to this. Just gotta. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. No, I'm sad. Oh wow. Sorry to hear that, Nelson. But
yeah, I mean, like if it was because breast cancer running in the family, and because mind you, that's a medical deal. I get it, but yeah, brother, I'm
that
sorry.
Doesn't sound like it's a medical deal.
No, and exactly that's why I'm saying. I mean, like there are those people that because they do that, they live because they don't end up with the cancer. Which I mean,
I do support breast reductions with women with like. And I'm talking about those that have like really, really, really big naturals, and and their back is hurting and everything. Sure, if you get your back relief, have a little bit of a breast reduction, but that's going from like D to C.
Yeah,
that's not.
Well, when you're a triple E, I mean, like we're not saying this to be jokingly here, and I'm pretty sure everybody that's in the chat gets that we're being legit here. This isn't knock knock who's there, Busty LaRue. This is literally like we're being legitimate here. For anybody that doesn't know or anybody watching later on, this is serious talk. This isn't joking talk. Because
it is a thing that it happens, but not often. What was I gonna say?
We love you even if you got big or small boobs.
Well, the thing is, in 20 years' time, when this person's natural desire to like even have kids and things like this kick in, what's it going to do to people?
Yeah.
Oh golly. I mean, if her mammary glands are gone, she can't breastfeed.
No, but I'm thinking more psychological, that if she decides like 10, 20 years time, she's getting those urges, I want a kid.
Yeah.
And now it's like, but what have I done to my body?
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of people with psychological disorders in the next 10 to 20 years when they.
There's people coming out now with psychological disorders that have gone on this quote unquote my transition journey say like 5 years ago, and then now they're like, this was a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know.
And
So
it's not
we used
reversible.
to tell people not to cut themselves. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then they would get help to not cut themselves. And I know it's not quite the same thing, but it is. I mean, it's if that
Well,
urge to cut
technically it
yourself
is,
is there,
because-
and it's
yeah.
a mental thing, right? I guess is what I was trying to say. If it is truly mental, and then
Yeah.
they're feeding into it because society is accepting it, then society is also at fault to fucking blame.
But you're
Because we're
technically
not
mutilating.
again taking care of the person. We're
Well,
taking
yeah,
care
then
of the party.
they should be discussing with this person over a long period of time. Is this what you want? These are the benefits. These are the downsides. They're essentially mutilating people now, and they don't give a fuck what happens to them in the future, because there will be repercussions from this. There will be people who don't want it done.
Now these are going to be the ones that you know, if they can't see some way to reverse it, these are going to be the ones that wreak havoc. And like kind of like you saw with what was that shooting that happened? Where was that recently?
Which one? There are so many.
Wait, yeah, I was gonna say, brother.
It was at that gay club.
Oh yes.
Oh, the gay white guy that broke the window, and then they said it was a white guy, but he was a gay white guy, or was it a different one?
Well,
No,
no.
that was New York. No, I know the
It
one
was
you
it was a
mean.
mass shooting at a gay nightclub.
Yeah.
And but the thing was, the guy was gay himself and a tranny, and so that's what happens. It causes a form of psychosis once you start you know.
Yeah.
Did
you see the movie They Them?
No.
Not I heard that tone. Hold on. Now, seriously though.
No,
By
I
the
haven't.
end of the movie, okay, at the end of the movie, the gal that does the shit she does in the murdering of the people was a child that they did that shit to. Okay. And I know, I get it. Like everybody's like, oh, there were educational parts in that movie. I'm not saying it wasn't woke. It was 110% woke. But so there's a new counselor at the camp. But at the beginning of the movie, you see this lady this person get murdered, just murdered. And you're like, okay, great. It's going to be a good film. Come to find out, yeah, the lady killed the one counselor, took its place, and then she went and got revenge on the people that did the shit that they were doing, which was wrong. It wasn't pray away, it was beat the gay away and electrocute the way.
Oh, wait a minute. Was this the one about the
we called it Mike Pence's Bible camp.
Hold on. Was this the one? Did it have Kevin Bacon in it? This was a
Yes.
recent one. Oh, I didn't I didn't see it. I've been meaning to see it.
I am going to tell you right now, dude, like there were moments, like I've been in counseling, not for that, but the shit that they do in that movie, if you've ever been to counseling, you're going to fucking know what I'm talking about right now. Because you see shit, you're like, wow, I was in marriage counseling. I mean, it's no big deal. I've been divorced. You had kids. You had to go through marriage counseling. And I fucking hated that shit. And I'm sitting there watching this movie, and I got a different perspective on it because it reminded me of, like, they're sitting there, and it's all open. You're supposed to open up, and then these counselors go and they make fun of people and shit. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil shit.
I know.
You haven't seen it yet. But
I'm sorry for laughing, but I was reminded about the time I was counseled and lectured for an hour by the principal for ripping ass in the lunchroom in elementary school.
And now they say don't eat cows because they
And
fart.
I said, look, I had to fart, and I said, well, don't feed me crappy food. I won't fart.
Right.
It's like you did it deliberately. I was like, what do you mean deliberately? I was like, I had to fart.
Yeah.
It leaked out. It just,
I don't get the thing you did it deliberately.
I mean, in a room full of in a table full of 30 people, and each class has their own table. I mean, trying to get permission to go to the bathroom just couldn't happen. So I just ripped one right there, made some Karen chick upset, got sent to the principal's office, and so it's like, so I'm trying to get ostracized because I couldn't excuse myself without getting in trouble for doing that. So it's like, what do you want from me? So I was like, so I took the path of least resistance, really, literally.
he literally just didn't give a shit anymore and said, you know what? I can't hold it. You know? Oh
I
yeah.
thought it's like a badge of honor with kids that you can fart. You know, everyone, when you're a kid, everyone loves farting. It's when you're an adult you don't.
I think I was in the 3rd grade. I think, but you know, it's just I didn't understand why the principal berated me for that long of a time.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right, but wrong, Brent, because like I'm an adult, but I used to purposely eat like cabbage and ham and beans and then work security and fart up one side of the aisle and fart down the other and then just like mayhem, sit there and listen. I've seen men get slapped by their wives and go, I know that was you. It smells just like you. And I mean, like, I just one.
Yeah,
We're
I've
talking
been
a
slapped for
10-hour
smuggling.
shift of
Yeah.
this shit is what I did.
Yeah.
And I
But
mean,
you
so
try and
I
have a
got
quiet
them
one.
all. Yeah.
You need one. You can't leave. You're trying to have a quiet one, and it doesn't work. It's an arse trumpet. So
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I perfected it. I could literally make an ass trumpet. No. Here's a trick, guys. Here's a trick. Next time you gotta rip one, just clench your butt cheeks and thighs really tight, and when you fart, it'll actually come out the front end right under your balls.
I used to do ass trumpets every morning when I woke up. Used to drive her nuts. But, like, you know, I wake up and I have gas. I got to get rid of it, and I can't be bothered to get out of bed. I just used to say it's warming the bed.
It depends on what you ate the night before, really.
Well, a lot of vegetables because she was a vegetarian, so I kind of had to.
Oh,
you know, yeah, I
I'm
couldn't have
sorry.
meat as often as I wanted. So, you know, yeah, there's a lot of vegetables and that corn stuff that.
Did you have to sneak the meat like hide bags of jerky
No, I didn't
underneath
have
the
to,
couch?
but to begin with, it was more like it was such a faff to cook a vegetarian meal and a meat meal. So for ages, I just, yeah, fine, I'll have your stuff. And then eventually, you know, as we'd been together for longer, it was like, well, I'll cook this and cook that. But towards the end, she was eating fucking turkey on Christmas Day just to see what it tasted like, and they ate fish and that, so they were fake vegetarians anyway.
Oh. And is that was
I
that
mean,
the,
you
was
get
that
to
the
the
straw
point,
that
dude,
broke the camel's
I
back?
did it at Taco Bell once. Like,
No.
it vibrated the bench. The kids were sitting there, like I sat down just like we're talking. Like, you just think it's going to be a little fart?
When it's at Taco Bell, it's meant
Yeah.
to be expected. You know, it's to be expected at Taco Bell.
With spices and everything in it, so it's compliments to the chef, you know, belches and things like that. Yeah. I'm not so sure about flatulence now I think about it, but then again, it's a natural bodily function. Otherwise, we wouldn't fucking do it.
I mean, the positive part of being a parent is you get to embarrass your children. And my daughter hates it when I tell this story that I'm about to tell. And it's really funny because we're on Facebook and Twitter too. So there's a good chance she's going to see this.
She's going to find out.
There was this one time, and I don't think you know this story, Brent, so this will be a new one for you. So we're shopping, and she was younger, and her brother did something, and she was turning around talking to him. And she's like, that's why I always, and walked right into a fucking pallet. And she was young, you know, she wasn't very old, but she was like mouthing off at her brother and just walked right into a pallet because it was still midday, but they had pallets out because it's probably this time, you know, getting close to Christmas and shit. So yeah, it was just one of those, you know, I always pay up. Yeah, you don't pay enough attention because the fucking pallet was right there, not gonna move. It's those things, or like, I hate screaming kids. I hate them so much that, you know, they don't. Children should only be seen, not heard. No, but like, I want to punch the parent of a screaming child because when I was married with Christy, my ex-wife, we'd go to the store. If one of the kids acted up, they stayed in the car. I stayed out with them, and because I didn't smoke in my car, I didn't smoke in my house, but I did smoke cigarettes at that time. So I just be out there smoking. You know, I just have a cigarette. She'd be throwing a fit, and you know, whichever one of the three it was. But that's how we did it, right? Like if we'd go shopping, one of the kids act up, it was, you know, heads or tails. Well, you want to sit in the car, you want to do the shopping. You know, it doesn't fucking matter because that way the child is not in the store making a scene, screaming, yelling, being a fucking asshole. That's how I do it. So when I see parents and the kids I just want to fucking hit them, you know, take that motherfucker out, you know. And I get it nowadays, especially where it's not one person working, but that was designed, that was planned by the government because, hey, we make it so that you have to work. Well, now we're separating the mother and the father. Now we can double fucking hit them with taxes. Now they're going to have to pay even more because they're both working in taxes. Makes them more money. Now you got to also pay for a sitter. So everything that we're living through was planned during our era or before. And sadly enough, it has come to fruition. Maybe some of these evil Republicans that we had in office weren't as evil as we thought. I'm not saying that they're not, but I don't think they were quite as bad as what we've got now by today's standards anyway, in my opinion.
No, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Going back to farts, though, one of the best, greatest, funniest ever movie scenes is Blazing Saddles. The bean scene.
Oh, the
I
bean
mean,
scene.
if you don't like that's a litmus test, people. If you don't like that, kick them off the planet because fuck me, you know.
I wouldn't call that the funniest part of the film, though.
No,
it's
but
not
for
the funniest
fart-
part of the film, but it is. I mean, I laugh all the way through
every
that scene.
time.
Yeah, every time. I know what's coming. I've seen the film God knows how many times, but it just gets me every time. And it's schlocky humor, and it's great. You know, which you can't do anymore. You can't have anything like that.
No. I'm
Thank
amazed
God.
how you get in trouble for my thumbnail.
Well, it's like, thank God Mel don't want to do any films anymore. You know, things lucky that Leslie Nielsen's not with us anymore. Things like that, because what are they going to do? They can't do this modern comedy. They just turn around and say it's shit. That's probably why they didn't do anything for ages. But
I mean, what would happen if George Carlin was able to live another 10 to 15 years? You know, what would he be saying?
Well, I mean, he was anti-establishment from the get-go, so they'd have canceled his ass.
Right.
Like, if it would have been like how if everything would have still been going the way it's gone, they'd have canceled him. The only problem is he wouldn't have shut up, so they would have probably assassinated him. Honestly, in my opinion.
I mean, you know, you even have John Cleese going on the Babylon Bee, saying how cancel culture is just messed up.
yeah, but then you've got his mate turning around saying, "Oh, I hate conservatives. I hate all these fucking people and all this sort of stuff." These were the people that were doing comedy to say how absurd the world was back in that day, and now you've got half of them saying nowadays is stupid, and the other half going, you know, against what they were going against before.
Yep.
Oh dear. Here we go. So wet.
God
How
damn!
about some more beans, Mr. Taggart? I'd say you've had enough.
Oh.
But I mean, yeah, exactly, right there. I had to look it up because look at your live reaction. He's laughing his little Jawa ass off.
So Brent, are you the guy that when you play, like, say, WWF Warzone or Attitude, make sure that the fart code's in there?
I have I've never played it. I didn't.
Oh, you
realise-
never play those games? Well,
No, I'm not.
No, there's
not
a
huge
fart
wrestling
cheat where
fan.
like, you know, you punch someone, they fart. You know, or what's even better is like you create a wrestler that's really fat and you have him do like a leg drop off the top rope and it farts. You know.
I'm pure raw with my sense of humor. I don't mind admitting it.
I don't either. What's up, Tommy and the Guinea Pig?
Oh,
What's up,
dear,
Tommy?
that thing gets me
Good
every bloody time. Oh God.
In case Tommy wants to join us, I'll throw the link in the chat again. It's been a minute. Tommy, if you're free, you know you're welcome, brother. Yeah, it's you know, that should be if you watch that and don't laugh, then you're getting in a trebuchet and we're launching you into a fucking wall.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
And it will be powered by gassy men.
We're gonna build a wall, launch people into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, look, we haven't talked about you and I haven't talked to him. So, like, my theory is if he actually gets in and they don't kill him, and they actually, if we have a real election and he gets back in, he might actually be able to fix this shit because he knows exactly who betrayed him and who's not doing their part.
He's got a lot
Yeah.
more work to do than he did before.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot more work.
You know, and I want to put to bed something here. I don't know if you heard me say it, but this whole DeSantis thing. Like,
okay.
You know, like he's a good governor. He's a great governor. But I think he would be the man for the job in 2028. Because right now you have a lot of big time establishment donors and people trying to push DeSantis, trying to drive a wedge. Now, if DeSantis is a man of principle, which I think he is, he would call that stuff out, and he would not, or like even if he got in, he's like, no, I'm not gonna, you know, dude's like, you know, even though you get donated to my campaign, I'm not gonna give you guys promises. They will Kennedy, they will flat out arc inside DeSantis if he, yeah.
I think that he would win because of the Latino. We've had Obama, first black president. We've got Miss Blowjob as the first black vice president. And if Trump and Santos were to run together, Santos for his VP, I'd be okay with it. But I think they'd want to do it the other way around.
The problem with that is that because Trump already announced that he's running.
Yeah.
He would have to be. He couldn't be in Florida. That means like I think right now he's under Florida. I think that's what he's registered. I heard that he's in West Virginia or Virginia or something, wherever he decided to run from. You know, because you could register what state you're running from.
Right.
If he registered Florida, he cannot pick DeSantis, and I'll tell you why. You cannot pick the running mate from the same state. Otherwise, you forfeit those electoral votes.
But is that really the thing? Because I mean, we've got a woman in Colorado that's fucking counting the shit that she's a part of. I mean, they have broken the system every which way you can.
Well, no. You don't understand. I don't know if you understand. For instance, if someone from Florida is running for president and they decide to pick someone from Florida as their vice president, they would have to forfeit the state electoral votes.
Yeah, so they don't get anybody that votes for him, it doesn't count. I get it.
Yeah, in Florida.
But look at how broken the elections are now. You know what I mean? It's like
it wouldn't work. That means that the electoral votes would automatically go to the opponent ticket.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. So that's
Trump
why
doesn't live in Florida, does he?
I think he does.
I thought he lived in fucking
But he does have property in
everywhere.
Florida.
But yeah, I don't
he
know
hasn't. He hasn't been in New York in for
minute,
who knows how long.
Hasn't he?
mean, I think he officially changed his residency to Florida. Like everybody moved down there. Like all the Trump base of operations is in Florida now. So that's what you're looking at. No one's looking into that.
Well, other than that, my question to you though, because I don't really know much about DeSantis other than he's Latino, and I could see them pushing him with or without Trump, to be honest with you. Without more so because of based off what you just told me, because if he doesn't play ball, they'll off him.
Pretty much. And my theory is the reason why Trump hasn't been offed is because he did pick some people in his first administration. And then also, I do believe, I'm going to say this. I think the man's a time traveler. You know, I'm not ruling that out. He knows when or what or however. So he's like going in with a scalpel and doing what he can at certain times, you know. So we're going to see what happens. So I don't think he's going to be.
You are correct. His main place of living
because
is
of
Florida
that
now.
whole thing.
Okay. Google says that you're correct. He does live in Florida.
Okay, so he can't. He
can't.
Well, Google says
either one of them can.
I heard.
Right.
I heard that he registered as Virginia for running as, and if that's true, he can pick DeSantis, and that's a loophole if that's true. If that's true,
It's right. But either way, that would be the way to do it. Even though it does seem kind of odd to, have that kind of a thing.
Right. So that's the case of the matter. I don't, and to be honest with you, Ron DeSantis is not stupid. And
no, I played a video of his, Brian, where he was, talking about the lovely immigrant problem when we took them to a certain little area and the rich people didn't like it so much.
Oh, I
and
love
Martha's
that.
Vineyard, he brought that shit up, and I was like, okay, I like what he's saying, but I will listen more because you live in the state that he's in.
The thing is, I don't believe he will run or announce
Right.
that he's running in 2024. If Trump announced it, he's going to hang back because here's the thing. He knows that his base is Trump's base.
Yes.
He knows that full well. And like I've heard they're kind of bashing each other, whatever. I see that. Maybe he's not talking about election fraud or anything else like that. Because here's the thing. 2018, when he was elected, Ron DeSantis, first day in office, he fired the supervisors of elections in both Broward and Palm Beach County. And then immediately the legislator worked on making sure they weren't able to stuff about, because here's what would happen. Every election, a couple of box trucks would show up to stuff about in Palm Beach and Broward County.
Yeah.
And every election up until 2018 in Florida was razor thin. It's been a purple state for a long time.
Yeah.
It's the only state where you could elect a Republican governor and a Democrat senator on the same election cycle.
Well, a lot of times they forget too, though. Your far left and far rightists were usually the guys that were the closest battling the same shit, just different sides of the aisle.
Right.
One was a Democrat, one was a Republican.
Right. And Florida was that way for a long time. And in Florida, it had to do with name recognition. And so the closest race was the Senate race between Rick Scott and I don't know who he was running against. I can't remember. Oh yeah, Bill Nelson. He beat Bill Nelson, and Bill Nelson was the incumbent. Rick Scott did, and Rick Scott was the outgoing governor. So it was name recognition. And he was like, well, if you go be governor for 8 years, he can go and win Senate. And he did. But that race was more razor thin than the governor's race. We actually had a Democrat ag commissioner because people, again, don't pay attention. So even that race was razor thin. But because she decided to run for governor in the state of Florida, if you run for another office, you forfeit your post.
Right.
So she decided to run for governor and didn't get the nomination, which meant she could not run for ag commissioner re-election.
Okay.
So that's what happens. So she, starting January, every state office on a statewide scale will be a Republican holding that in the state of Florida.
Right.
For the first time, I don't know when in my life, and I think ever, really.
Right. Well, the problem I have is they kind of proved how much cheating they've done. I saw a video somewhere, and the guy was talking about there was the guy that won that had been dead for like a month. He won the election as the Democrat, but he was dead. The thing is, that just shows that because they stuffed the ballots when he was alive, that to me, that even shows more fraud of what they're doing.
Right.
Because I mean, I get mail-ins and whatnot, but if the dude died a couple weeks before or a month before the fucking election, how are you still voting for him knowing he's dead? How is that even on the fucking ticket if it's an electronic ballot? That's simple thing,
I mean, it should be forfeit, or they should have some
replacement. Yeah, whoever's
or replacement. Say like the runner up in the primary gets that nomination to run. If you vote for this guy, a vote for that. But going back to the whole thing in Florida, where it comes to voting and if you want to vote by mail, absentee voting, you have to request it, and you have to send like a copy of your driver's license. You actually have to put down your voter ID number. You have to put down your voter ID number, your social security number, your driver's license number, and they will send you a absentee ballot.
Right.
And once you can fill that out and send it back, and you only get one.
As it should be.
A lot of things happen in Florida, as I mean, even before we had pretty secure elections. Ever since, believe it or not, ever since 2000. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was like, okay, we are making sure that all of
That
our
shit
elections
never happens
safeguards.
again.
Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, everybody gets one. Everybody's gonna count. It's just, but still, you have problems in Palm Beach and Broward, and even with that, they still barely squeak by a victory. But now it's like apparent. Like you had Ron DeSantis beat Charlie Crist by 20 points. 20.
Yeah.
That's to me that was like amazing. And Charlie Crist, he did such a bad job as governor. He used to be a Republican, and then he ran, like, when it came time to run for re-election, he decided to run for Senate. He lost the nomination to Rubio, and then he cried, and then he decided to run as an independent. But again, in Florida, name recognition, believe it or not, Charlie Crist, as an independent running for Senate, got 30% of the vote.
Nice.
Yeah, so Rubio got 50, Charlie Crist got 30, and then whoever the Democrat was.
Yeah.
Again,
maybe 5% because a lot of people didn't vote. Yeah, I got you.
because even the Florida Democrats were seeing how kind of left Charlie really was. I mean, if not for him, we would have cheap prices for re-registering our license plates and tags. That's all his doing. He's he totally sucked as governor.
Well, that's just it, though. We should be able to, when the people don't do their job, they should be fired. We should be able to vote and our votes count and be counted where we all believe that it was fair. The election shit, you don't say it's going to take a week or two. You don't fucking leave till it's counted. No pulling people out that are supposed to be there to make sure you don't cheat either. But like all that happened, 2020, it happened. It just happened again in 2022 locally. So in 2 years, we've literally watched history repeat itself, and people are still fucking not taken to the streets.
Yeah. No, people, it's like, did you not see what happened? Did you not learn your lesson? You didn't. You didn't at all. And
that's why I went in person and voted. And I can tell you this, I've looked at other states. The sad thing is, when you look at their polls, generally 90% of the states is red and 10% is fucking blue. And just big pockets of blue. Mind you. I know it's not legit like 100%, but if that is legit and then they're going to keep being commies, we need to take out the commie trash. We need to start abolishing evil instead of tolerating it.
I'm gonna say, like, if this happens again, I mean, I foresee either a civil war or some sort of agreement to separate.
Well, I mean, we know that Biden has already basically handled China, Russia, and the Middle East, the keys to the kingdom. Just come in and do whatever you want because he's not stopping anything. Did they ever do a mental competence test on that motherfucker? Because I'd love to see it. I know they made a big deal about Trump's.
Probably in crayon.
Yeah. Okay.
It's about what he can write with. The thing is, states might succeed, but they would have to still use all the services and everything else provided by America and the rest of the states. So it's
Texas wanting to secede. I mean, they can go back to Mexico. I'm fine with that, but let's put the border around Texas. That way we know those motherfuckers can't get in here. Not the Texans.
Governor Abbott of Texas is sending like National Guard to the border. and I don't like sounding inhumane here, but
I got your back. Go ahead. You
if-
say what you want. I'm going to find the video that I wanted to show you. You go. I'm going to mute.
If we at the border, if whether it's state law enforcement or National Guard or whatever, if they start firing shots at the people trying to cross, like literally live ammunition, even non-lethal still, start firing shots. Start firing shots.
Well, it's not against the law to shoot them across the border as they're crossing illegally, I don't think.
Right.
With fentanyl and shit. Like, that's what I said.
Yeah,
why are you not open and firing on them motherfuckers?
Yeah,
it's not against the law. Yeah.
I mean, you see what this stuff does? I mean,
we know what it does, but yet our
police-
government's allowing it to happen and nobody on the state level stopping it either. And I'm
Police-
sorry, our border patrol, look, if you want to be in the military, I believe that you should have to be in like the ROTC shit in school, or there should be a 2-year minimum training. And part of that training, you're on that border wall. And all of our guys that have retired but are still able to be in the military and function as military
And
should
wanna
be
be in
paid
it?
to keep the border safe.
I agree.
Because they're already trained.
Oh yeah, and then here's the other thing I was gonna say
Yeah.
is the whole thing about fentanyl. Police confiscating fentanyl, they got to be careful while handling evidence. Otherwise, that stuff knocks them out to the point of death.
Yep.
It is that dangerous.
Christ.
Yeah, and so it's like to anybody, who, because now it's being laced and stuff. I remember when angel dust being laced in weed was a big deal. But if anyone out there likes to smoke weed and you don't live it, get the stuff from dispensaries if you really want to do that, because it is just not safe to do stuff from the street anymore.
Oh no, it hasn't been.
It is not.
I think that's why they were pushing so much of the decriminalization of marijuana, which I agree with, because it doesn't do what they said it did. And they have proven where it can help. And then Big Pharma doesn't want it to happen because, Big Pharma's making all that money off the poison that they're putting in you and telling you is helping. That's not. For not everybody. I'm sure some of it might help some people, but I know.
So what was this video?
I'm looking for it. I had one saved up. Oh, here it is.
Presidents.
Okay, no, stop playing, you piece of shit. This will make you laugh. Well, no, this is actually not going to make you laugh. The fact that the facts are right here and people still don't get it. It's actually not funny. It's very sad. But, I mean, humanity, right?
Taxpayers an additional $20 billion annually. That is $4 billion additional to the $16 billion former President Trump spent building and restoring hundreds of miles of border wall. That $20 billion is also on top of the well over $140 billion a year taxpayers already fund for long-term illegals. The Biden administration has released 1.3 million illegal immigrants into the country, and that does not include the 800,000 or so that we have not accounted for. According to a new cost.
Wow.
Yeah, that's on the news, and trust me, that for me to find that, like I said, dude, I don't do a lot of research. I find stuff to talk like that, and I'm glad you said when you did, though, because I had that. It took me a minute to find it, but that's why. The numbers are there. They know how many he brought in. Why is that man not brought up on sedition, treason? They didn't even go after for impeachment yet. What the fuck is going on? You're working. You're paying the federal government to do this to us. And we have and again, there's nothing we can do about it. Chris Fisk made a great comment. I keep waiting on the adults to show up, but we're the fucking adults. Nothing's getting done, and it's scary when you hear that. We're fucking fighting to get by day to day, month to month, week to week, year to year. And they're forcefully bringing people here and overpopulating us and taking funds and shit for us and giving it to them. And then you guys scream and yell that we're racist. But yet the country that we pay for that's supposed to be protecting us isn't. And there's a lot of shit. I mean, I've got some racy shit that possibly could get us in trouble. So I didn't play it yet because I just got out of getting in trouble. Trust me, we got up to 500 watch hours, which is nothing. We were having panels where I had to up the StreamYards because I didn't have enough. So I had to do the next one up. And then they kept nuking us for bullshit. And now, I mean, I got a few people watching. Thank you guys. We do still get the replay watch. But I mean, it's the same thing. It's, you know, and again, life has gotten to the point where those people that would normally be able to stream with us can't. Not because of you know, a personal issue, just life. And again, this goes to what we're talking about. Food, the increase has gone up. They're saying that there won't be any increases, but we're already seeing everything go up. Like, for real. Like, all of a sudden now you can't find eggs. I, a week ago, went to the butcher shop that I normally go to, got 10 dozen eggs. They're small eggs. And DL has pictures of them in a video. I sent it and shared it. Would you like to take a guess how much I paid for 10 dozen eggs, or should I just tell you? DL, you can't tell them. You know. $9.
Wow.
$9 for 10 dozen. It was under $25 or so for 30 dozen. You could get a crate of eggs for 30. This week now, they're 5 dozen for $10.
Jeez.
So don't tell me fucking inflation ain't happening when I just literally witnessed it. It was last week I went and took mom. And I mean, literally this week's ad, because they changed the week every week and a half to 2 weeks. It's already gone up that much. I was going to go up there and get like 60 dozen eggs.
The other day, I spent almost $300 at Aldi.
At Aldi's?
At Aldi, yeah.
Yeah, because all these used to be where you would go. Look, we were poor. My brother and I were talking the other day, and it's like, look, we were poor. Like, the only reason we weren't fucked, my grandmother gave my mom her house and went and lived in apartments up the road, so that all three of us, well, there was 2 of us at the time, but all 3 of us eventually, kids, we had a house. And I mean, if it weren't for that, I'm sure shit would have been a lot worse. You know, we never went hungry, but we weren't rich. You know, mom worked 2-3 jobs. You know, she would work, she would babysit, she would do, you know, again, it's the 80s. It was a way different time frame, but she busted her ass, and we didn't go without because my grandmother helped out. And by all means, she could have stayed in the house too, and we would have made it work. But she went and she still worked and, you know, had money set aside. When that old woman passed away, she had over 30 grand in the bank still squirreled away. My grandmother, you know, and her birthday was when I went and spent the day with my mom, because, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. And I took her out. We went shopping, and I said, you know, we went up to the meat market. I'm like, anything you want, I'll get. She went. Damn old woman wouldn't pick out anything. She didn't want. I'm like, you don't got to get 10 pounds. You can get whatever you want. But no, she didn't want nothing. So, which is fine. Lowry's Meat Market in Buchanan, Michigan, brother. That's where I got them. And this week's ad, like I said, they're 5 dozen for $10.
I just sent you something on Messenger, Adam. You might want to look at.
But yeah, I mean, it's getting to that point where, don't tell me, you know, Biden came on and said there's not going to be inflation, and I've already seen it, you know, and we all know it.
The guy's a serial liar. You know, he's not. I'm not going to call him a pathological liar. He's a compulsive liar.
Oh yeah.
You know, a pathological liar. Hold on, what's the difference between I think a pathological liar
believes the lie,
and a compulsive liar just lies.
Just lies, yeah.
Lies.
That's most politicians,
and can't stop lying. You know, Biden cannot stop lying.
Even though when it's, I'm sorry,
all the stupid stories. It's like, oh yeah, I used to drive a truck. I used to drive a train. I
was raised in a black neighborhood. I was raised in an Italian neighborhood.
I was in the top group of my law school. Yeah.
No,
it was actually graduated last.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, 70 something.
Oh yeah.
It's like you're at the top of that. You're looking at the list upside down, sir.
Yeah.
That's not the way you're supposed to be reading that list, sir. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, hey, here's a conundrum. Who do you call someone that has graduated last in their class at medical school?
Failure.
Doctor.
Janitor. No.
Doctor, because they graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you want that doctor operating on you?
No.
No. You do not. You think they get like junior positions or like something really simple? You hope anyway. You hope they don't get put in major theaters and things like that. But you never know. You never know.
We shut off electricity. You're all Scrooby-Dooby-Doo! Well, Aunt Nancy, we did it.
We sure did.
We made them buy electric cars they can't even charge.
And you're paying for air conditioning they can't even use.
I bet they're all sweating in their small little houses.
78 degrees. Peasants. I bet you're all nice and moist.
Not us, though. The power's always on in our mansions, and the AC is always set to 69.
Don't forget about our Jets, limos, and Jets cousin SUVs.
I can't believe people keep voting for us.
Who said they're voting for us?
Did someone say the Standard Hotel?
Hi, Adam.
So, Adam, did you come up with any good lines today?
Yeah, a couple.
I want to hear one.
Yeah, me too.
No, it's a surprise.
Oh, hi, Ted.
Hello. What's so funny, Ted?
We just shut off electricity.
Damn.
When I seen that, I was like, saved. I was like, must save that one. That wasn't even the one I was looking for. That's the one I found that I remembered was, well, hilarious. I was like, okay, I have to share that one since I did find it. And we were kind of talking about some of that anyway. So I was like, yeah, that's fitting. Hell yeah. How you doing, DL?
I'm better.
Feeling better? Good, buddy. Good.
Nothing a good sleep don't solve, you know.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. It's all right. I'm just glad you're feeling better, man. That's
And
all that matters.
Benadryl. Sleep
That'll
and
do it.
Benadryl.
Well, I mean, I did pick the picture because I was like, oh, do y'all like that? I did have a couple throughout because I know you said you'd probably be listening. So I still played the stuff I was going to do whether you were here or not because I did. I found a bunch of stuff that I knew you'd get a kick out of.
I love how us peasants have to scrape by while these politicians are supposedly working for us. They're living high on the hog.
Yep.
Wait a minute. There's something wrong here. You know.
Oh yeah. Massively something wrong.
No kidding.
On many levels.
Is anyone out there planning a heist or something? I mean,
or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we do.
Do you
one,
honestly
obviously.
think that 87% of the population is up?
But like, you know, like what if someone were to like
Upset with how things are going, but then they decided to vote for the same guys who've been there causing the problems? Isn't it strange that all the blue
Or like drain the bank accounts of some of these people? That'd be funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the shit they've done that's illegal, they should already
states still don't have.
Yeah, they should already be getting in trouble. You know what I mean? Like they didn't get in trouble for this shit. Where's the justice? Like they need to be getting in trouble for the shit that they did.
There's a long list of those people.
Yes.
A noose, you know, I set up a gallows right across from the Capitol building, you know, televise it.
No, the last people that did that got put in the gulags.
Well, I say, you know how Times Square and, you know, New Year's we have the ball drop. Well, you know, for all the people like that and the pedos and the sick people, that's the time that the guillotine drops. Whoosh! Because the New Year's starting off pedo free. The motherfuckers are all part of the fertilizer now. You know?
Yeah, we're
that's
always
how
going
I
to
see
have
it.
that. We just need to look after it properly.
That
The way they are doing.
YouTuber Melody Mac was talking about what you do with the pedophiles, and then they showed like a mulcher that you know, she says that might work. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah,
Nothing wrong with a limb trimmer, you know, and you put them
Yeah.
in feet first, baby.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's see if this thing will play right. Give me one.
Of their votes counted. Isn't it strange that people in blue states seem to love $7 a gallon gas, not being able to find baby formula? Oh, they let the elections happen. I didn't think they would. They did, kind of. Do you honestly think that 87% of the population is upset with how things are going, but then they decided to vote for the same guys who've been there causing the problems?
Rules for them wearing
today that details what we have uncovered. We are also sending letters to the Biden administration officials and Biden family associates renewing our request for voluntary production of documents relevant to this investigation. This is an investigation of Joe Biden, the president of the United States, and why he lied to the American people about his knowledge and participation in his family's international business schemes. National security interests require the committee conduct investigation, and we will pursue all avenues that have long been ignored. Committee Republicans have uncovered evidence of federal crimes committed by and to the benefit of members of the president's family. These include conspiracy or defrauding the United States, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Act, violations of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, violations of the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, tax evasion, money laundering, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. The Biden family's business dealings implicate a wide range of criminality, from human trafficking to potential violations of the Constitution. In the 118th Congress, this committee will.
And you know
I'm
what's
just
going to
stopping
happen?
it right there
Nothing.
because there's a lot of information being flung there. But right there, what he just said, why the fuck has nothing been done? I don't give a flying fuck if he's acting as the president or not. If they have proof of this shit, this motherfucker should be behind bars with Hillary and all the rest of them.
Because it's their party. They can't. They can, but they won't. They
Right.
don't have principles because it's about the established party and brand. It's not about doing the right thing under the law. It only gets to that when it's unequivocally provable and that it's out there for everybody to see and everybody reports on it. Especially like it only happens like, say, like a local news station will pick it up. That's why, like the whole Rod Blagojevich thing, that wouldn't happen if and sometimes they could get tired of somebody, but basically they're gonna let this happen. You know why? They don't want him to run again.
Yeah.
They don't want him to run again. That's the thing.
He's done. Biden's going to be done after. Yeah, he wasn't going to run. Did you really think prior to all this bullshit he was going to fucking get reelected? I didn't. I figured they'd kill him off and Kamala would take over, or fucking Nancy would kill them both and take over. But luckily she's out.
Oh yeah. Well, she's there until the end of the year, but
right. Well, a couple more weeks. But yeah, you know what I mean. We're looking at she's supposed to be out. But if something were to happen to Biden and Kamala right now, she's still in.
Oh, help us all.
God help us all. But here's what this is the one I was trying to find. I kept missing it because this actually has to do with Twitter. But this is the shit that they're doing, like right here. This is the shit they're doing.
This is what collective and mass brainwashing looks like.
Be cautious while looking for health information in the Twitterverse. Be extra cautious while looking for health information in the Twitterverse.
Be extra cautious while looking for health information in the Twitterverse.
Be extra cautious while looking for health information in the Twitterverse.
Be extra cautious while looking for health information on the Twitterverse.
Be extra cautious while looking for health information on the Twitterverse. Be extra cautious while looking for health information in the Twitterverse. Be extra cautious while looking for health information on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because it fucking worked with the Nazi bullshit. And now they're doing it with Twitter and Elon. So he's pissing off the establishment. That's why all this is saying we're worried they're going to take him out.
Yeah, the funny thing is people don't go to Twitter just to look for news, really.
No.
They mostly go to Twitter just to because they're like a part of like some sort of fandom or like trying to promote their business or whatever. the people going there for politics is a very small number compared to what people are going there for. Basically, it's like entertainment information, really.
Yeah.
It's not about like health stuff, but then they'll see it on, and people will post political stuff. They lean a particular way, but for the most part, it's all about like entertainment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like today, the only reason I'm using Twitter now is because Elon bought it. I want to support what he's doing because I believe in the freedom of speech too. Look, if I say pineapple belongs on pizza, and then you're going to say, go ahead, Brian or Brent.
No, I'm not.
It's a sin.
You're not going to bait me. You're not
It's a
going to
sin.
bait me.
It's a sin.
So, I mean, but that's the thing, right? But then because I say it is, and I'm going to pay them to shut you both up and take you off the platform, that's what they did. And we have proof of that the Democrats pushed all the information they didn't want the people to know and hid it.
Mm-hmm.
And yet now they're saying don't go to Twitter because you're going to be able to have freedom of speech. That's what I get out of it. And again, not that should be your only resource. If you're only looking at one place, you're part of the problem.
Yep.
Because you have to search around to find out what's what. I couldn't believe they had a thing for January 6th the other day. And I'm thinking the only thing that happened on January 6th is they made that happen so that we didn't look into the election. Everybody seems to forget that. The whole point of January 6th was that we were supposed to get information and they were supposed to look into the votes. And that all went away.
Died.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Pence stabbed America in the back.
Oh, well, Pence was a piece of shit. I warned every single fucking one of you.
He's a Judas.
He even took a gold coin. I even saw it.
Yeah, he's Mike Pence. If anybody should have been wiped off the planet already, it's that piece of shit. He did one thing good. The only thing good that man did was when all these other fucking commie states were giving the states money to illegals and shit, he told them to get bent. That the money here is staying here. He's not sending Indiana money for other shit. Now, that doesn't mean it probably didn't happen through back other ways from the fucking commie party that's in every state. I'm sorry. Every state has the Communist Party because the new Democratic Party is the commie party.
Yes,
we don't have Democrats and liberals, It's communism or nothing for them. And for me, I say no. There's no, what the fuck this communism shit. Our forefathers are rolling over in the grave the minute that they called Trump a Nazi, and then they want to Make America Great Again. Like it's fucking BLM. But BLM's okay.
Yeah, an organization that uses a commie fist as a logo.
Yep. So yeah, it just gets to that where even normal people, unfortunately, we got to bring this shit up from time to time. And we've said this from COVID on. We're going to learn more, and we're going to see where we were right. And I've mentioned there's going to be a lot of lawsuits. I mean, you and me and Fed were all together when this shit started, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember whose stream we were fucking on, but you and me and him went on, and we said the world will never be as it was before this. Trust me. And, Fed was like, you, me, and Fed were all telling these motherfuckers, all you motherfuckers, telling you all what was about to happen, and you motherfuckers didn't listen. Acted like we didn't know what we were talking about. Well, look at where we are a short 2 years later. Under communist rule. Under, there's a hurricane, go get a vaccine. A vaccine that doesn't stop you from getting or stop you from spreading anything. Yeah.
I like that one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the bots, as we've told them, the fact checkers, and you find out it's a computer and it's not a fact checker. They hate that Rumble video. The second I put it on Facebook, they covered it up. Twitter didn't. Facebook did. They hate that fucking shit. So Facebook just as communist as fucking Disney.
No, it is.
If not worse. You liberal fucking assholes. All you fucking dickwads that didn't do shit but fucking protest and never really did anything for society. You're to fucking blame for this shit. You let communism in. And that was before anybody on this panel's watch. Just saying. Now it's our turn to clean this shit up. Look, I'll take peaceful ways, but I'm not playing the retard game. Like, there's no reason anybody making under $100,000 a year should be paying for any fucking healthcare the way we do. We're overtaxed, fucking, pay for this, why are we paying for auto insurance if you don't get in a wreck? I drive 20 miles a month, if that, and yet still have to pay unreasonable fucking insurance. Why am I paying $200 and some odd for a fucking sticker for a car that sits? Because the state wants me to. Meanwhile, there's motherfuckers on the road that aren't even from this country running people over, and they're the victims. Yeah, see, there's just something wrong with it. That clip I played earlier, 2 generations. We went from the greatest generation that sent 18-year-olds to war to die and be fucking target practice for Germans to now, 2 decades later, or 2 generations later, they need a safe space if somebody's being mean on Twitter. What the actual fuck? And you don't think we're soft? You don't think we're weak? Look, we got overtaken and they came with leaf blowers and all kinds of other shit. We've been invaded for decades. And they literally just told you that with the illegals they've allowed in. The president allowed it in. Trump had so much shit getting yelled at him about that fucking wall. And what happened? They've spent, 3 times as much as that bringing illegals in? So, but yeah, feel better, Brent. It's all good. I know your knee's fucked up, buddy. Feel better. We're going to be wrapping up anyway. It's already said, Jesus. We went almost 3 hours, over 3 hours. Yeah, that's not bad.
7 o'clock.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that it's like, when do we do, what can we do? When is something going to happen? We're looking at officials that aren't doing anything. You look at cops, they don't know what to do because they've wanted to defund them for the last 2 years, and then we've got politicians literally breaking laws right in front of us that we know. Oh, allegedly. There's no allegedly. You wouldn't say it if you didn't have proof. And we're not going to go down on your charges either. Every charge, every law he broke, he needs to be charged federally and punished for it. Exactly. No getting away from it. You did 100 fucking things illegally, you go to jail for 100 things. Yeah.
He needs to be. Well, you know what? I mean, yeah, have him in a stockade because I believe that right now, to be honest with you, execution would be too good for him.
It would be, but it would prove to future generations we're not playing this shit.
That's true. I mean,
because I'm tired at that point, look, man, we've only been here 250 years, give or take, right? So since we succeeded, we've been America, and I'm just talking about Americans, not humanity in full. So about 250 years. We have literally went and got away from British rule because they were too fucking uppity for us to come here and do our own shit for it to completely fall to communism in 250 fucking years. It's nuts,
It is nuts.
And people like us with, we're not going to see eye to eye on everything. We've admitted that numerous times. There's lots of things we don't agree on. We're still friends though. I love pineapple on pizza. So does DL. You and Brent don't, but that doesn't, we just won't eat the same pizza. I mean, who gives a fuck? You're in Florida. I'm in Indiana, and in Michigan.
I'm in Missouri.
Yeah, he's in Missouri. Yeah, I don't dox people, but exactly. Yeah. And Brian, everybody knows where you're. I mean, yeah, exactly. You've said it numerous streams and whatnot. We all know you're in Florida. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, but if we were all able to get together, we're sure as shit would, and we'd go get pizza together, wouldn't we?
I was gonna say, Adam, this place that I know, they have on the menu this pizza, which is just Italian sausage, onions, and long hots.
Nice.
Long hot peppers.
Yep.
You might want that.
Oh, I would love to. I just can't eat any of that shit anymore. My stomach. Yeah, I'm on a very bland diet these days, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can't eat the peppers.
Yeah, I can't eat the peppers. No. I mean, no. Respect, brother. Yeah, it is.
No,
again,
I am sorry. I feel sorry for you. Yeah.
You
but
just,
I'm just saying,
enjoy it for me. And I'll watch.
I enjoy it every time.
Maybe be like, let me have a bite, and then I'll just like die for a moment.
You're gonna be like Joe, sneak up behind it and sniff it.
Yeah, I'll just Well, I'm a man. I just feel like, hey, man, let me smell your pizza. But yeah, I mean, it's that simple though. But in the world I see today, if you're not with them, then you're the enemy, and eventually you're going to be the enemy because they burn through everybody anyway. Where we're going to still be getting together to go have a slice of pizza. That's the whole point, because you can't. Again, I still give you props for when you did the pizza party on here. I thought that was fucking cool. You know, we all just got together and had pizzas. You know, sat there, you and the wife, all those of us that were in the chat chatting with you and whatnot. But you were the first one to do something like that, you know, out of the crew, out of everybody that I knew. And I really thought that was cool.
Did y'all discuss Person of the Year times Person of the Year?
Who's the Person of the Year this year?
Yeltsin.
Boris Yeltsin?
Yeah.
That piece of commie.
Yeah, commie piece of shit. There, hold on, because Brian is very Christian and doesn't cuss. That commie cocksucking piece of shit. What?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
Wow.
You know, if it was Gorbachev, I might have another. You know, it might be another story. But Boris Yeltsin. Why Boris Yeltsin?
He's called the Spirit of the Ukraine.
So this is where we're going to be later tonight, about 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. We will be on AngelousDraven's channel watching AEW wrestling. Brian here and I have taken over streams by accident, and then even
talking about wrestling.
Talking about wrestling, we're like, look, man, we can go all day. Like, we're not trying to take over. You know, if you want us to shut up, just tell. And they're like, no, please, because they enjoyed the fact we knew what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Back in the fun days of YouTube. So yeah, AngelousDraven is my AEW guy. He DVRs it, and then we all get together and watch it on StreamYards. And again, that'll be 10:15 tonight on his channel, which will be after This Week in Bullshit. Or This Week in Bullshit. Jesus, wrong show. Wednesday. Place to Be Reviews. His show, and my brain is not fucking working. Why is it not functioning? Yeah, his show tonight. And then who's before that? Nobody. It's Wednesday. So yeah, it'll be after Etep's stream, which is about an hour and a half, and then yeah, we'll be on AngelousDraven's. But yeah, that's that. I've been with those guys, man, and talking wrestling. Tony Tone Deaf from Clown World Review, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, AngelousDraven, Etep, a couple other people here and there from time to time show up. But Chris Fisk, he shows up. But they kept talking about AEW. I really didn't have a lot of exposure. And then I saw, CM Punk went to it. And I was kind of looking at it a little bit. But then I met, these guys kind of brought it up. And
what I like about it is they got Shawhan and JR as color commentary.
Oh yeah, and the fact that it's got some. I mean, it's woke as fuck as for the promotion, not the wrestling. The shit Tony Khan's paying. Like, I don't see commercials because I don't have cable. And there was this gay, bi, LGBTQ love commercial that ran forever on there. And he put that shit on there. And it's funny because Draven's, somebody had said, I think it was Draven or Tone. They're like, it's funny. This is playing as we're watching, sweaty wrestling men. And that's the least gay thing on the fucking TV is the wrestling sweaty gay men.
Yeah.
The commercial was just awful. I think it was Fisk. I don't know. I don't know. We had so much fun. I can't even remember which one of them said it. It's not I don't mean to be disrespectful. I just don't fucking remember.
Almost every living legend has made a cameo on AEW one time or another, except for Hulk Hogan, because Tony Khan made it explicitly clear we don't want your racist, on here.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, I don't know. I don't think Hulk Hogan's racist, but still,
by today's standards, he is, just like we all are. You know what I mean? By today's standards. Is he actually racist? I don't think so. He's fucking Hulk Hogan. He doesn't have time to be racist because everybody gives him money.
You remember that time when Booker T called him the N-word?
Oh, yeah.
And you had Sherry just kind of like, oh, that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
And like, because you see him just kind of rolls like, I can't believe I said that.
Oh, good old Hulkster.
Hulk Hogan, we coming after the gold. We coming after you.
Well, it was like after his son did that drifting and then ended up in jail and shit, and he was talking to his son, and then they recorded it and somebody released it to the media. And it's like he's talking to his son that just killed someone, and you guys are making, nitpicking the shit he's saying, but he's trying to help his son. It's not about the person he killed or any of the shit they were pointing out. Like, that's the other problem with media. It has just changed to not being media. And wrestling did the same thing. That's why I can't. But AEW, I've been enjoying the wrestling, but I'm not enjoying the gay shit. I guarantee you, I don't think that myself, Etep, Tony, Chris Fisk, Vinnie Tartamello, if we all get together, oh God, if Tommy comes, we're not going to make it 5 minutes. But if we were all in an AEW arena, we would be thrown out in less than 5 minutes because we're loud, but we're fans. But we're also not bitches because we can throw down. So, you know, not that that's what that's about. It's just, you know.
I wonder if that's why Cody left.
Could be.
I wonder if that's why Cody left.
Or they finally gave him that golden penis and said, hey, we're going to put the belt on you and give you respect and make up for the shit with your dad, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's hard telling. I mean, he did help build it, but could that be the reason? It's just too gay for him. So he said, fuck it, I'm out. I don't know. I'm really newer to AEW.
And is Dustin still there?
No, he's out. He's
like, okay, that's too gay for me.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
he's out.
He
went too many times. He went gold dust. You know, I loved it.
It's like this is too gay for me.
Right. Hey, I've got the Signature Series 1 with Goldust on my fucking wrestling wall. I mean, I loved what he did with that character because Dustin could wrestle. I'm sorry, Cody, but your brother was a better wrestler than you.
Oh, he was. You know, Dustin. The thing is, they never gave Dustin the strap.
Nope.
And
IC title, but not
they certainly would not. They certainly were not going to do it when he was as Goldust. Absolutely.
IC was fine with Goldust, though. I didn't have a problem with that. I thought that was a pretty good run for him.
And back when the IC title meant something, today the IC title's crap.
This is true.
You know, IC title, US title, today it's crap. They used to mean something. They used to be an all right title. I mean, heck, even the TV title, the WCW TV title meant something to an extent.
Oh, I love TV titles, man. That was one of my favorite because the way it should be is one of your future stars and you want to test them out, you give them the TV strap. And then if they do good, you go up to the US and, you know, and so on. So depending on the runs.
And even every now and then a main eventer would get it.
Yeah.
You know, just as a transitional thing, you know. But there was this that do you ever listen to the 83 Weeks podcast?
I haven't listened to it recently, but yeah, when we were doing a lot of the wrestling shows on Clown World Review on Tuesdays,
there's this one where Eric Bischoff said he fired the Honky Tonk Man on the loading dock because the Honky Tonk Man wanted more money for defending the TV, or because he was gonna drop the belt to Johnny B. Bad, and he wanted more money, trying to extort. And then Eric Bischoff said, "Get out of here, you're fired." And it was I forget what pay-per-view it was, but then he just had Johnny B. Bad wrestle someone else, and Johnny B. Bad got the TV title.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like he's like, and so Honky Tonk was saying Vince gave me X amount for dropping belt to Ultimate Warrior, blah blah blah. I was like, well, I ain't Vince, you're fired.
Right. I like that. I ain't Vince, you're fired. But no, there is no buts and you're fired.
Yep.
You know, sorry, but you're fired means you're fired.
You're fired.
That's right. You know, but it does happen. I'm sorry. So my brain fart. Yes. Holy shit news. That's what it is. At 9:05 Eastern Standard Time with Etep Wokuian at the Place to Be Reviews about 8-ish. I think it is 8:30. Will be the member stream, where on the member stream, usually I'm on there, AngelousDraven's on there with Etep, sometimes a couple other people. So that's what's going on today. I just completely botched everything. We are going to wrap up. Not that I'm wrapping up this second. It's just I felt bad because I couldn't think of the damn show throughout all the good conversating that we had. But again, this is why I like doing it this way. I like kind of free range, if you will. You know, it's just we just kind of go live with a bunch of different things and have a bunch of fun. You never know who's going to be here. It's an open format. You know, I have fun doing it as long as everybody here is having fun. That's great. Brent had to bounce. You know, he's still having those knee issues, and he's got to stand up and then stretch and then all that shit. So, and it is he's 5 hours ahead of us on the Eastern Standard Time. So it's like 1 a.m. Oh, look, Nelson. There's Nelson. We can add Nelson. We haven't left yet. It's loading, buddy. There he is.
Hey, Nelson.
Wait, I just want to sing my songs real quick. Hold on. I don't know if you guys got the references, but commie bears starving in bread lines everywhere, while their masters eat thick as pots of made of angel hair. They are the commie bears.
That's funny.
See, Nelson, bringing a smile to everybody. Since you're here, go ahead and we're going to go ahead and plug. I'm going to let you start with your debut tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on my channel, Nelson the Psychopath. I'm going to be interviewing Adam, Tommy, Vinnie, Etep, Grossman, Lasso of Truth, the whole fucking gang, a gang of outlaw. I'm probably going to have to do them in shifts because I can only have 5 people on at once. But yeah, we're going to be talking about aliens, and it's going to be super dope fresh. And I mean aliens like extraterrestrials. So
I was going to ask, are they illegal?
yeah,
Hell yeah. Oh, shit. There we go. Hell yeah. Brian, you got anything coming up down the pipeline?
I mean, I just pictured like a great alien trying to sell me chili rellenos and chiclets. But this is a kind of a busy. I'm going to be super busy from now until sometime in January. But I will start posting on my regular channel again at some point. I do have that backup channel, and then of course look for my triumphant return to Twitter between now and the end of the year. I will probably go back to Twitter and wreak havoc.
Once you do, I'll be tweeting
on the
out,
Chinese.
"Look, he's back. He finally came back." I can't blame you.
Mr. Miller got back on the Twitter.
Well, no one. I sent him that article about the general amnesty, and then he all of a sudden came back and started like sharing screenshots and posts and stuff, and that was funny.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah, check us out. So yeah, it'll be, I'll be on Etep a little bit later, possibly for the member stream. Definitely on with AngelousDraven tomorrow, Thursday. So yeah, I don't have anything going on except for later on at night with Nelson. Guinea, we're gonna hang out and have a bunch of fun. Friday, right back here at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Friday fun with friends, myself, DL, a bunch of anybody that can make it. And then from there it will go to Vinnie Tartamello at Vinnieart. Usually at 5:05. We're doing Liars on the Clown World Review Friday night, so that'll be 8:05-ish, let's say. And then Saturday night's main event with Etep Wokuian, but we're watching wrestling instead. So, it's going to be a blast. So we'll be back on AngelousDraven's channel. There you go. Geez, talk about a brain fart right in the middle of a promo. Right back to AngelousDraven Saturday night for the pay-per-view, where you will hear us as we watch it give commentary. You can watch along. And yeah, that's kind of what we do here. We're here to have fun. Thank you to everyone that stopped in. Nelson, thank you for jumping on. Gap, thanks for coming to the party and playing. Tommy, see, I love the fact that it's all just the normal people that you see all the time, and I don't like when fakeness is about myself. I really... Euler Greg, DL, of course, and I'm glad you're feeling better that you were able to come on and get a couple words in too. Parrothead, my man, I hope you're feeling better, Parrothead, because I know you weren't feeling good. And of course, Mr. AngelousDraven, since I'm a vampire simp, I just can't help it. Good dude though. Yep, good dude though. That's all I can say. Real good dude. Had a lot of fun with him, and everybody that I've met thus far, I've been blessed. I have. When it comes to the YouTubers, I have dined with kings and queens. I have partied with them before they were anybody and still drank them under the table and had a good time. And I'm still friends with all of them. So thank you all for tuning in. Take care. And, just know we're not down with communism.